All right, we are live. What's everybody up to tonight? Yeah, external barge. We got some good topics tonight. We got some good stuff to talk about tonight. I'm excited. Should be a good show. Should be a good show tonight. Okay, we got everybody here. All right, let us podcast. Ronan, let me hear you one more time, just to make sure your mic levels are good.
All right, how do I sound?
Okay, you're good. You're good. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, just making sure. Alrighty. What's up, Guardians? Welcome to episode 353 of the newly branded Guardian Down Roundtable. Join me, Todd the Gator, and my co-host Kingsley Mack as we invite a rotating list of guest co-hosts to the table every week, where every gamer has a seat. Our mission is simple: to create a dialogue concerning topics and news that impact our gaming hobby, and sometimes our other things around the gaming hobby tonight, but all keeping a focus on our community. That's what it's all about, is our community. So we go live every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on my Todd the Gator YouTube and Twitch channels. That's TODDTHEGATR. We do love live shows because we like to interact with our chat. So if you have some interaction, you have some input tonight, or you have questions or anything like that, be sure to throw it in our chat, either whether it's in our Twitch, whether it's in our Discord, or in our YouTube tonight, and we'll be sure to address it live on the show. So let me start with you, Mike, from the great state of Utah. How you doing tonight, man? How's your week gone so far?
I'm good. Yeah. Trying to think of something witty to say.
That's all right.
But I do not have that because I'm too cool to care right now.
He's excited about something he wants to talk about later. I get it.
Well, it's not that big of a deal.
Well, let's introduce our guest tonight before we get into our topics. Our first guest co-host was back. Actually, he's back for his second Roundtable appearance tonight. You can hear his original interview back on episode 225, which was November of 2023, by the way. He's been a mod and a member of our community for over 5 years now. Outstanding. I really enjoy his company, and he's a part of my weekly raid team as well. And he's just been a really interesting guest co-host in our past appearances, and he will have another intriguing topic this week as well. So from the great state of Texas, it's RoninRedLion. How you been tonight, sir?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Thanks again for coming back, man. I'm glad. When I offered, I was hoping you would say yes. So you always have, and you come to the show ready to go with a topic, something you've been thinking about. So I love that, man. I love that energy. Thank you. For our second guest co-host tonight, he's been a part of our community for over 4 years now, and is another host of the Dudes Playing Stuff podcast, DPS. He contacted me a while back, and he mentioned this topic to me, and I said, hey, why don't you just come on the show and let's talk about it? So here he is to do just that. You can hear his original interview back with us on episode 197. Oh, Ronan, he was here before you, man. From May of 2023. Please welcome back from the great state of Ohio. Yeah, I said it. It's DangerPowers. How you been, man?
Hey, buddy. How you doing? I'm good.
I'm good, man.
I wouldn't say great state. It's fine.
Me and Scarlet KM went into this last time. We have a lot of guests from Ohio, apparently. But yeah. So welcome, man. Thanks for coming on tonight. Looking forward to talking with you guys.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So just quickly here, I know it's been a while since we've seen you, Danger. What have you been up to, man? What's going on in your life? Just a brief synopsis. What's been going on, man?
Oh, let's see what's been going on. I think since the last time I've been here, I have a new job. I'm a systems analyst for a huge hospital group out here in the Cleveland area.
Okay.
Aside from that, I've just been I'm a Delta man. I fixing up my yard, working on my house. We just redid our whole basement.
That's right.
Just trenched up my whole backyard. Yeah, it's great. It's going very well.
Nice, man. I think if there's someone in the what was it, the Crota's Inn pub Discord today, someone was wanting to work on their yard, and I guess they were trying to get our attention to help them fix the dirt pile that was their backyard. I don't know
why they bothered to ask me. I can't grow grass to save my life. So.
The problem is England's like the same weather as like New Jersey. It's like the same area, it's the same kind of climate, except it's an island. So
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what grass would grow over there, but anyway, I didn't know how to help him either, but maybe I can at least put him in the right direction. Ronin, how you been, man? How you been doing this week? I know we gave the raid another try this week. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it done, but how you been, man? Everything going okay? Is that a word? Everything going okay this week? Sorry, I'm mumbling.
Yeah, it's going pretty good. We're entering the rainy season, and we get warm in Texas pretty early, so it's muggy on top of that. But just making it through.
Okay, well, good deal, man. Well, you got an interesting topic tonight as well. I can't wait to hear about it. Well, let's get into what exactly is on our show tonight. First thing, we're going to start things off right off the bat with that very topic that DangerPowers brought to my attention, which is, what effect does remote working have on our young adults out there? Good question. So next, we're going to check in with Kingsley in his segment, Kingsley's Corner with the K. He's got some exciting announcements, at least one exciting announcement to make tonight. Then on to our next topic, where RoninRedLion has 2 questions aimed at us gaming parents and our kids. He'll explain further as we get into the show. And then for the final topic of the show tonight, I want to discuss the tug-of-war that is currently being waged in Arc Raiders community and how this compares with the history of the Destiny franchise. I see a lot of parallels here. I'll elaborate further as we get on later on the show on that as well. After that point, we will shift into our catch-up segment, kind of more of a hangout then, where we'll share what's been going on, what we've been gaming, what we've been playing, what's been going on in our family lives and all that good stuff. Just kind of catch up since we've talked with our guest co-host for a while now. And then we'll answer questions from our community. We do have a few in our Discord tonight, so if time allots, we'll jump into that and go over those questions and see what kind of answers we can give them. No promises. Anyway, remember, if you do want to send us a question for the show, especially if it's a voicemail or an email, just go to guardiandowncast.com and you can click all the buttons in there to do just that. All right. So if everyone's ready, let's roll. All right.
Hey, pause.
Yep, I'm here.
Ronin was saying he couldn't hear.
Check your individual volumes, Ronin. Right click on his. I can hear him just fine.
And maybe he should leave and come back as a test too. But I just wanted to pause so we could troubleshoot this.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Leave and come back?
I'm also seeing for Danger, it says failed to start camera.
Yeah, it's probably on your side because we're all seeing them fine. So
yeah, Ronin, let me ask you this. Did you update Discord today? There was an update. There was a little, that little arrow up in the right-hand corner. Sometimes if you didn't update the latest version of Discord.
I didn't, and it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, not sure. I'm going through the web interface.
Okay.
Ronin, I had to leave and come back for me to see stuff too.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, man. That's fine. Hopefully it'll put the windows back where they were.
It should. Invite to speak.
He's a mod. He should be able to just jump in here.
All right. Yeah, now see if you can hear Danger.
Hello.
Hey, there, I hear him.
Yeah. Discord's a funny animal. Discord's a funny animal, man. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. You're bringing 4 people from all over the United States to talk in one area today, and sometimes things don't match up exactly, and you got to just kind of give everything a little kick just to give it a reset a little bit. All right, let's get in.
Just gave me that failed to start camera message again on Danger. Danger, could you say something?
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Okay, I do hear you.
That's all right.
Oh,
don't worry about the camera thing. It's probably you know what it could be, Ronin. It could be, I don't know how much internet you have, how much strength internet you have, but sometimes the Discord will anything video. If you don't have a lot of bandwidth, sometimes it'll.
But he sees us.
Yeah, well.
And I'm on fiber. I should be good.
Oh yeah, you should be just fine. Well, you and Danger,
You
I
said
guess,
you're on
don't
the web
agree.
Interface Discord. Is there?
I'm using the web.
That could have less features than, but you don't need to worry about it right now. But
yeah, I see Gator's video just fine.
Okay, that's weird. I don't know. I can see him just fine. He's moving. Nothing's locking
just
up.
Just ping us again if you stop hearing someone. But I think
if you can't hear anybody, definitely let me know. Definitely let me know. We'll reset stuff. Discord's going through some changes right now. Did you know they made their own game, their own video game they've been trying to sell everybody? I'm like, I'm not interested. Anyway. Yeah. So anyway.
I think that's an area we can ignore.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. You ready, Danger? Let's get into it. Here we go. 3, 2. All right. We're going to start off with our first topic tonight from Mr. DangerPowers. What do you have on your mind for our show tonight, Danger?
So this wasn't really an article that I found or anything, but this was actually a conversation I was having with my dad about I don't know, maybe a month or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of an interesting conversation, part of a bigger one we had. So he is close to his 70s. I'm 40. So, I mean, we're not that much further, apart in age and like things that used to be before pre-COVID. But we were talking about the younger generation, and my job now, I work remotely 99% of the time. I am work from home. I go into the office maybe once a month. It's like the last Monday. We sit in a conference room. We have a meeting, talk for maybe like 4 hours, and then I get to go home and I get to just hang out and work from the comfort of my own home office. And my dad, he is a financial consultant. He does a lot of meetings. He does a lot of in-person, does a lot of traveling. He is under the impression at his age that people of my age and younger are losing the ability to have normal social interactions with people because we are working from home more. And his argument was that, like, no, we're not sitting at a cubicle next to each other and having the conversations and doing, normal everyday talking and going into the cafeteria and talking to your coworkers. Getting to know my team and various other people that at an office. Like I'm dealing with, I'm trying to think right now, 3 hospitals in Florida. I'm going to say like 20 hospitals here in the Cleveland area. So there's no way I'm going to be traveling from, an hour away, 2 hours away, or getting on a plane and going out to like Tampa area or down by like Orlando and, having like an hour meeting and flying back. It just doesn't make sense. So for me to work from home remotely, it works perfectly fine. I don't think I'm missing the opportunity to talk to people. And also, I think too, with people my age and younger, I think we have more ability and technology to be able to talk to people and have more social interactions than we would my parents' generation, where they were in an office or they had to go out someplace. Like we have Discord, we have dating apps, we have all sorts of things here that are at our fingertips to be able to sit here and talk. Like right now on a Thursday night, 9:00, we're sitting here and there's people in this chat from all over this country and England that we know and all sorts of stuff. So I think so much it's not going to be an issue. I could see on my end, though, that the biggest issue is the fact that we are not going to have as much patience. I think the ability to just kind of like log off rather than have to sit into a room with somebody for a while is going to be an issue. But I think that we're still social people. We're still able to talk. I think the younger generation is able to adapt more. So I don't know. I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are on this, because I think we're okay, but I'm guessing that the older generation is thinking that we are doomed.
Right. I definitely have my opinions. I want to pass it to our other guest co-host first. Ronan, what do you think, man? What do you think about all this?
Yeah. So just to, kind of frame it from where I'm coming from, because I too am in my 40s. And so I've grown up in, what you might call the old system where you go to work, and you're there 5 days a week. And then COVID happened and remote work got a lot bigger, and now it's much more of an option. It's available, everywhere. So to me, remote work, it has that that connotation of the pandemic. It's different for me. Like it feels like like an alternative, but not like how it should be. So just to kind of frame that. But yeah, looking it up, I looked up a couple studies that they did. One was from the Institute of Family Studies, And it talks about how, while productivity may not be impacted as much, remote work, people can do whatever on the computer and, produce just as much output as they would on a computer in the office. What it says is kind of the drawbacks of a lot of remote work is like the social scaffolding. So, when you start at a job, you might have senior employees, you might have a mentor or a boss, someone that you work side by side with, and you see them in real time, and you can pick up a lot of useful information from them. You can pick up a lot of just how how whatever the work environment is, and you can kind of use that to get yourself established among your coworkers. And with remote work, you see everybody on a Zoom screen, and it's kind of a a tailored environment almost, where you just see the screen, you see like them from the shoulders up. Everybody's staring straight ahead, and so you miss a lot of the like subtle, body language and social cues that you might otherwise pick up. And so, yeah, like I said, for me, it feels weird to be in that situation because it's like something's missing that I was used to for so long.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what the study also said is that, while people enjoy the flexibility of it, there's a higher amount of loneliness, and I kind of see that if you're just in the same room every day and you don't see people face to face, or you don't have the water cooler conversations or the meet up for drinks after work. And coworkers may not be your circle of friends, but it's still, like Danger said, we're social animals. And I think that's something that they're starting to realize matters more. And what the study said is that among millennials and Gen Z, they're actually seeing more of a desire to return to work, at least part time, not be fully remote, because of that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Kingsley, what do you think, man? What do you think of all this?
A lot about this, because it was kind of my job in many aspects even before. So first question though, Danger, is your dad more on the extrovert side at all, if you had to guess?
Oh, he definitely is.
I kind of knew it. So to me, a majority of this comes down to personality type. It's not the only part of the equation, but let me tell you, I remember situations before remote work where I would go into some offices and some ad agency graphic design firm, and they have this setup. It's even worse than cubicles. It's like two long tables next to each other, and everyone's sitting along it right next to their coworkers, and then facing the other person in front of you with their computer screen. They're facing you. And that would be an introvert's nightmare working in a situation like that, but they don't have a choice. I think the bigger question is not so much is remote work bad, but what blend should we have depending on different people's personality types? And it's very rare to have a company that kind of like lets people have different options. Now, of course, you got to have social interaction also. Even as an introvert like me, I will go stir crazy if I do not occasionally do stuff, but it doesn't have to be with work people. I go out with friends afterwards, like to get the drinks or to hang out or whatever, stuff like that. I wish remote work was a bigger thing before COVID. Even like sometimes I would have customers, and I have the best way to do remote work, being an IT technology guy. And I tell them they have a problem. They call me. I'm like, well, let me run your computer and fix it. And this was like well before. And they're like, no, we'd rather you come out and do it. I'm like, really? I mean, it'll be cheaper and quicker if I can do it remotely.
Charge them, buddy. Charge them.
Come out later, like on a different day. So, and sometimes they still wanted that, whatever, But it's kind of a funny thing. So, and also like the patience aspect, let me tell you, like that doesn't necessarily relate to just remote work or not remote work either. In fact, I feel like just with sometimes, whether you have in person or remote work, having too many meetings, that's an issue, right? No matter what, you're doing it in the office, too many meetings, or doing remote work, too many meetings.
So
yeah.
I was just gonna say, so I know, I mean, take my opinion with a grain of salt, because I know I'm a weird special case in a lot of this. Like I'm definitely an extroverted person most of the time. I mean, for those that don't know, my background was I before this job, I was a chef and a restaurant manager for almost 20 years. So like coming from that to this where I'm working remotely, I love it.
Nice.
Like
Yeah.
not having to deal with people is the most amazing feeling in the world. But Kingsley, to what you were just saying about having to be in meetings constantly, working remotely. Prior to this job, I was working for Sherwin-Williams, and my work schedule was in the office 3 days a week, work from home 2 days. And I would say I got more done working from home than I was in the office, because a lot of the times we had to stop what we were doing because we were having so many meetings while we were in the office because everybody was there. So most of my day was taken up just sitting in a conference room and just writing down notes. And then because I'm a systems analyst and I deal with a lot of like code building, and I build a lot of projects with dashboard design apps. A lot of that stuff I have to do in front of a computer. I couldn't just take my computer and work in the middle of a meeting. I had to sit there and pay attention. Yeah. So a lot of the time I'm losing productivity being in the office. But for me, working from home has been great, because even though I'm in a meeting, a lot of the times I can still sit here in front of my screen, and on my laptop for work, I can just pay attention to the camera, listen. But at the same time, on my other monitors, I can just sit here and get my work done. And it's great. So I'm way more productive now than I've ever, I was when I was in 3 days in the office, 2 days home. So,
yeah. And then as far as the kids conversation, there's a couple facets to that I want to bring up. It is important, of course, to have the social interaction, no matter you're introvert, extrovert, whatever. And, with schooling, and there's a lot more online schooling these days and stuff. And it's simple. It's even just like, even back in the day, if you're doing homeschooling or remote schooling, it doesn't matter. You still got to have the outside activities, band, choir, whatever, things like that to kind of be well-rounded, sports, things like that. But then I have heard also, and I think I have a slightly different take on it, because again, I think a lot of times, again, comes down to if you're extrovert, introvert, but I have heard also about kids kind of bucking the trend. I heard of I think it's more like they almost want to get away from technology. I don't know if it's just a popular thing that's going on right now. I've heard of like these parties where kids will go to and no phones are allowed. Or I've heard of
flips,
other things like that. So maybe they don't want to be in a remote work situation. They want to be in an in-person situation. To me, that might be a little more suited towards, it's just a new trend, a new thing. They want to try not be so reliant on technology, versus so much is remote worker and work better. Because I tell you this, if kid was a total introvert, they probably don't want to necessarily be like working in an office where there's like 40 people around them and everyone's yapping the whole time, and and especially if they're going to do the trend where they're not wearing headphones either. I mean, if you're an introvert and you can't wear headphones with people around you, that's like worst case scenario. Right. So we'll see how that all turns out. But it is interesting for sure, all the multifaceted part of this.
Yeah, we had some comments. Deadpool Wilmerk says, when I'm at work, I prefer in-person meetings. When on site, I don't like doing Zoom calls at site. Here in California, phones are banned in classrooms. Yeah, that's becoming more of a thing here in Florida too. Not yet, but we're getting there. When you asked this question of me, I had to kind of relate it to my life. And my dad's 80, so I'm about 10 years ahead of you, Danger. My dad's 80, but my dad's always been self-employed. He's always been a go-getter. My dad has always been, he's the firstborn in his family of 5 kids. So he was always a go-getter and went out there and got the work done, worked hard. He taught me well. Hard work, come home, you feel good about your day. He really didn't have, he's definitely old school. It's all about pressing the flesh and, talking to the customer and selling him a job and getting it done for him and, day's work. He goes home, he's good. I really never got into, I'm a Gen Xer, and I've never really got into remote working at all. I mean, my God, I wish we had remote working. I remember when I was, first starting out, I was in retail, and I think every kid should do a retail job at least once. All my kids did, because it teaches you how to resolve conflict. And I know a lot of introverts, we like to shy away from conflict. I know that's my wife and I, probably my son too, but it really shapes you socially to have to deal with another human being. And I think all young kids should start out that way. And if these kids went to college and they were doing like, Zoom calls, remote learning, and then they go to a job that's remote as well, then I think that's going to severely handicap them. And let's face it, everybody's seen The Office. That's where romances start. Some people meet their mate at an office where they're working. I know it's frowned upon in some jobs, but my God, man, that's going to get a drink after work. That's kind of like part of the social construct. And when you don't have that, yeah, man, I bet you it can get really lonely. But I think that, External Barge says, you're acutely missing out on personal interaction. I'm kind of on that side of things. My wife today she drove all the way across town, burned a ton of fuel, and I'm thinking fuel these days because the damn prices are so high, to do a training. And I'm like, why didn't they just do a Zoom call? As well, they wanted everybody to be there, and I got an award for, they're celebrating this and that. I'm like, wow, what a waste, man. So I guess in some instances, it's a good thing. I think as long as kids start off before they jump into a major career while they're at college, or whether they're in trade school or whatever, trying to do whatever they're wanting to do here, I think every kid should have a retail job, like an entry-level retail job. I think that's very important, just to learn how to deal with people. I say deal with people, but how to that's the wrong way of saying it, but how to problem solve. I think that's such a big thing. And you can't teach that social interaction. You have to learn it. I'll give you another example. My grandson, all our family was watching him personally at our house. And, I'd turn on Miss Rachel and let him watch for half an hour or so. And, everyone would take because daycare is enormously expensive right now. And he's almost 2, but we decided, because my son he was a remote worker, and he does very much high technical programming work. And he couldn't get any work done because he was having to take care of his son, and his wife is a teacher, and she's gone all day as well. So it was really tough for him to get work done. So he was working late at night to catch up, and it was just burning him up. And so we decided to go ahead and get him into a daycare facility where he can learn with other kids. This is like pre-kindergarten stuff. And it has been amazing. That kid has come to life. He's reciting his alphabet and on his way home from it's like he's accelerated his learning because he's got kids to reinforce all that learning that are now his little friends, So it even starts at that level. It's just real important, I think. And, I think to answer your question, I think it's okay as long as they are exposed to a retail or a regular physical job before they get into remote working. Then they'll be like you, Danger, where they really appreciate the benefits of remote work, where you can multitask during the day and not have to put everything down and pay attention to the meeting. Otherwise you'll get called out, So.
I agree with you. I think, they definitely should get a retail job, or like go work at a McDonald's. They need to, people do need to learn that.
Yeah.
And I think you're right in the problem solving, but I would add to it, it's problem solving on the fly.
Yes.
In that quick moment, because when you are behind a computer screen, like you had that moment to edit yourself. Like you don't have that time when you're face to face with somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say, I'm looking at your the comment section here in the Discord, like people are bringing up like the price of gas and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one thing, and I see nothing wrong with people wanting to have a flexible schedule or working remotely or working in an office full time.
Right.
I think if you're going to go work in a place where you want a little bit more remote work, I think businesses also need to be more acceptable of, what people want to do as far as their job. And I'll just give the example of like when I was at Sherwin-Williams. So it's in downtown Cleveland. And I mean, I don't live far. I live 10 minutes from downtown. So the price of gas for me, not bad. Parking, on the other hand, is ridiculous.
It is.
Especially in the summertime, because headquarters is like right next to Progressive Field for the Guardians. And I mean, what could be like a $15, $20 parking one day during a game day in the summer, they're jumping that thing up to $60, $70.
Yeah.
And when we had moments like they shot the Superman movie in downtown Cleveland, and it was, I mean, literally like right outside my window from my office. So like those days I had to park. I was spending $70 a day at parking, just trying to find parking spots because the city was like, oh, people are going to want to come and see the movie, so we're going to jack up the prices.
Jeez.
And then they wanted to, like, we had to park like way further away than we needed to. So it just, when we were asking like, can we work from home those days, that, my boss was like, no, sorry, got to come in. It's the way it is.
Yeah.
But I think jobs should be more flexible for that, but that's just me. So,
Well, I mean, I think businesses are finding out how much they can save on office space. I mean, office space in Orlando is way down because of the fact that people realized how efficient it was to do remote work versus having to staff an entire office. And it's definitely saving a lot of companies money. And I think a lot of companies are seeing that, but there's companies out there that, for whatever reason, it's probably goes down to the values of the CEO running the company. We're making sure that people come together at least once a week. And I think that might be a good thing. But like you said, man, the logistics today in a modern world are just, I've been to a few of these concerts downtown lately, and I'm like, man, this is ridiculous. This parking is ridiculous. I remember when I was in England, I was trying to park. We went to a castle in Wales. It's where the university is there. My God, man, thank God we had a small car. There's no way we would have fit in some of these spots. So I can relate to the parking, man. It is nuts. Not to mention the expense of it. But but I think as long as kids these days have that social interaction, whether it's elementary school, in high school and whatever, and they develop those skills there, I think they'll be okay when it comes to remote work, but I think they need to appreciate remote work. So I think they need to work those retail jobs or whatever it may be, McDonald's or whatever. I think it's a good starting point for any teenager out there to just understand how business works and how the customer isn't always right, but sometimes you just got to meet them halfway. You have to figure it out. And I'm telling you, all the years of doing retail jobs pushed me to start my own business because I was so sick of it. And I realized that with my marketing degree, I wasn't going to really get a big high profile job downtown. So I had to make my own way. And that's why I started my business and went from there. But my dad's the same way. My dad is very, very intelligent. He's got he's got an engineering type mindset. So he's very good at building things, and he's never really, he's never had really had to deal with that as well. So it's a good topic, man. I thought it was something that needed to be said because it is a real world thing that we all deal with right now. And I think it's only going to get more intense as AI starts taking jobs and things like that as well. It's another topic altogether, but I appreciate you bringing it up, man. Any final words? Anything you want to get your say in before we go, or?
No, I mean, I think we got everybody here kind of hit the nail on the head. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Kingsley is chomping at the bit. He has something he wants to talk about.
You wish.
We'll do that right after this. Okay. No
Just
malware.
when you talk things up more than what I'm actually thinking.
I know. Anyway, that was a good topic.
You can't trick me. You can't put words in my mouth.
Yeah. That was good. That was a good topic. Good way to start things off. All right.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, Kingsley.
Wait. I better did I close the...
Okay. Go ahead. Take your time.
Jeez. Hold on. Let me get the tab back open.
And on your questions, Ronan, I actually talked to my son the other night.
I'm there.
I actually talked to my son the other night, so I'll get some good answers for you on your question too.
Cool.
Okay. All right, here we go. 3, 2. All right, we are going to Mr. Kingsley Mack next with Kingsley's Corner with a K. What's on your mind this week, Kingsley?
Yeah, I didn't have much for this week except for just some news came out today that I'm excited about, and that is one of the worst kept secrets in video game remakes finally got its official release date and much information today. I see Danger smiling also. That is Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
I knew it.
Resynced. And one of the best Assassin's Creed games ever, but it had its issues. Even though it was a good one, if you compare it to the newer games like Odyssey or Valhalla, the controlling's a little janky. I mean, I replayed Black Flag a year-ish ago, and while its story holds up and all the ship battles and everything like that, I definitely wanted to see a remake of this game. Well, it comes out July 9th, and let me tell you some of these awesome details. First of all, graphical and technological enhancements built from the ground up on the latest evolution of Ubisoft's proprietary Anvil engine, used also in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Ray trace lighting, optimized performance, 60 FPS on consoles, and of course more on PC. Graphics assets built from the ground up to support micro polygon and physical base rendering pipelines, and fully modernized water rendering and simulation. New enhanced features, quests, so they're actually adding new quests into the game, and stories. Locate and assign new officers to the Jackdaw, which is the ship, who each bring a special ability to enable combat. Playas have been reworked, offering new rewards and unique encounters on islands across the map. Additional missions and new scenes featuring Matt Ryan, which is, by the way, the original voice actor. They got him to come back to voice new missions for the game. In fact, he was also the voice of like a developer documentary that came out today I was watching before the show. It's really good. I'm going to post it in the Discord later. Anyone who's interested in this game should watch this 8-minute little documentary. More customizable options for your ship, including new skins, and you can have pets now on your ship. Reworked fleet, which allows players to use captured ships to generate passive income through rare activities and trading. Old shanties are back, but they're joined by a set of 2 new shanty songs for the ship. Reworked action adventure. This is really good. The combat's going to feel much more fluid like the newer games. New visceral takedowns, new parrying mechanics. The parrying was a little janky sometimes in that game. Quick fire rope dart pistol moves. You can always crouch now and be sneaky, so a little more of the sneakiness and hidden blade ability stuff. New secondary weapons have been added to try out, including shrapnel barrels explode and damage enemy sails. 8-pounders open up more weak points at enemy ship holes. Better parkour. I mean, yeah, the jumping was a little weird too. Like you would try to jump off buildings, it would go like the wrong way or something. But they fixed the manual jump, the side ejects, height gaining back ejects, quicker interrupts between parkour moves. And last but not least, dynamic weather and objects. With Anvil's Dolby Atmos system, the weather of the Caribbean becomes a character in its own right and brings the seas to life. Destructible objects react to weather in combat. Signs that move and shift with the wind. Ship sails billow and blow. Coconuts roll across the ground in a storm, and objects break when enemies are thrown against them. So I'm telling you, like they do a good job of showing the before and after, and the graphics look amazing. I'm so excited for this game coming out. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Deja.
I am stoked. I am so stoked for this game. I love the Assassin's Creed series. I did not finish Valhalla. I'll admit to that. It was too big for me. It was too janky for me. There's a lot of issues, but Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, they were always like my 2 favorites I always came back to. Even though they're, like Kingsley was saying, it has its issues. I think the fact that they're bringing for the ships, the elements that they had in Odyssey, because that was one of the things you could do in Odyssey was you gathered lieutenants. Those lieutenants each had like their own special ability, whether it was like you fire damage or you got a hull buff or whatever it may be, archer damage and range, whatever it is. So I think that's going to be very cool to bring to the ship, to have that element in there now, so you can kind of make it a little bit more customizable for some of these sea battles, especially like if they bring back, what were they? They were like the master and commander sea battles in like the 4 corners of the map.
The big,
the mana
ships
wars
or whatever they were called.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think watching the video today, there's still some slight flaws, and it just might be me. Like it was the same for the Ezio remakes, where like the mouth movement's weird. Like it's almost like they have like a mouthful of like pasta or something while they're talking.
The mouth looks the same as what it did before, so I guess I give them a pass on that. But the graphics are a lot better.
Yeah, the graphics are fantastically a lot better. So I'm very, very excited.
I'd say the mouth is worse than before, but yeah, maybe they just didn't have time to also work on the mouth.
I hope they like clean that up before they put it out. But
yeah. Ronan, are you a fan of this game?
So I have actually not played a single game in the entire Assassin's Creed series. Like I've been aware of it, obviously, because it's a big name. But would this be a good starting off point? Do I have to have a history with earlier games to know what's going on, or is this kind of standalone?
The history and the story, that's just the lore that all the games do have kind of most of the games have an overarching, but you don't have to be into that point to appreciate this game, especially this one. So yeah, I think you'd agree, Danger. You could just go into this one even as your first one.
Yeah, this is the game that kicked off after the original trilogy, so it kind of starts its own little like sub stories. Like there's some things they might mention here and there, like referencing the first 3 games, but it's nothing where you feel like you're missing out from not playing anything else. Like this is like the game to jump in.
Yeah, I played the original Assassin's Creed, and it just wasn't for me. But I haven't really played this series as well, but the worlds are gorgeous.
Well, the original one was probably one of the worst, right?
Yeah, I think it was one of the original ones. I think it was on PlayStation 4, I think is when I first tried Assassin's Creed, and it was okay. Let's just face it, I was pretty hell-bent on playing one game at the time, and I've changed my ways since then. You'll find out tonight. I've definitely changed my ways ever since the Destiny days. But I didn't want to cut you off, Ronan. Was there something else you want to mention, or do you have another question or anything?
Well, the original Black Flag came out even before Destiny did, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's older than Destiny. I know that, yeah.
Just by a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I will say that, what I've seen of the games, they look tempting. They just haven't really been exactly what I was looking for at, given point in time. But this one sounds compelling. So, yeah, I might give it a look, especially now. This is kind of a good time for me to be trying different games. Destiny's kind of in a slower period before, whatever's coming out in this summer. And so I'm really trying to branch out, kind of like you, Todd, and try other games in other genres that, maybe I haven't even looked at yet. So I'm definitely going to give this one a look.
My backlog is so freaking long. I'll just be honest. I probably won't have time to play it, but I'm glad. I'm glad. I know you love this series, Kingsley. I know that's why you're excited. But it sounds good, man. All those technical details you mentioned, it's just going to make it look more real, man. More photorealistic. That's the thing, right? The water effects and stuff. The lighting
stuff too. New missions.
Yeah. That's going to be good. That's going to be good. Yeah. So it's almost a new game. There's definitely been other remakes in the past that are kind of like barely considered a remaster, but this is like they're calling this resynced. That's totally an AC term also, like the synchronization and everything. And this is like a full remaster remake with new missions and everything. So they're doing a good job. So it's almost a new game. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Well,
but you have the background knowledge of knowing what you're doing. Yeah. That's what I hate about new games, man. You get in and you're like, okay, what's the gist of this game? Or and of course the first thing is, what's the control scheme? I got to learn the control scheme all over again. And I'm so used to shooters now, and it's so hard for me to learn new controls. That's a biggest sticking point for me. But no, I know it does. I'm old and set in my ways, but no, that's good news, man. That's
the same in most games.
It is, but
movement's the same in most games.
I'm glad they announced it. That's good. When is that coming out, by the way?
July 9th.
July 9th. That'll be here before you know it. That's cool. I tell you what, man, everybody's writing off Ubisoft. They think they're just going to just fade away. But what they've done, what I've been hearing that they've been doing with Division 2 and then now with Black Flag, maybe maybe they're just trying to make a comeback here. I mean, I'm all for it.
We already had the discussion. Everyone
Yeah.
who's writing them off all the way hasn't actually read the details.
Yeah.
What they're doing is a purposeful restructure and making their studios smaller, but not kicking to the curb their best IPs.
Right.
Like I said, like if they're actually going to go out of business, then why are they still working on Division and Assassin's Creed games and stuff?
Yeah.
I think it's smart. They got too big. It makes sense to unfortunately for them, more than any other studio in the world. You know, you never even want to see layoffs, but it makes more sense for them than anyone else, and to just try to focus on a little bit less games. They had too many things they were trying to do.
I think Ubisoft had 18,000 employees. That is a lot of payroll, man. That's all I can think of as payroll expense.
Hundreds of games, like with all the sub studios they're working on, and now they're just kind of limited it down to. Now they still make the premier, the top 2 or 3, I think will always stick around. The premier ones like the Assassin's Creed, the Divisions, the things like that. But the smaller ones, the tier 4 and tier 5 in their latest infographic they gave, those I could still maybe see going away if they don't start making a lot more money.
Well,
but,
I think everybody's looking at stock price. That doesn't always tell the whole story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Well, anything else you want to mention before we move on to the next topic?
No, that's all.
Okay. I knew it'd be quick tonight, but I want to give you your say on that. Okay. Well, let's move on to our next topic. We're moving right along tonight with Mr. RoninRedLion. All right. Here we go. You ready there, Ronin?
Sir.
Let me make sure I'm in line here. Okay. We're good. All right. Here we go. All right. For our next topic, it is RoninRedLion, and he has, I think he has 2 questions he wants to ask everyone tonight. And Ronin, I'll give you the floor, man. What do you got?
All right. Yeah. So my discussion questions revolve around parenting, specifically how that works for us as the first generation to have grown up with video games as an available hobby that we would have grown up ourselves with.
Right.
You know, as parents or adult relatives or mentors, we try to pass on the values and lessons that we ourselves learned to the next generation. Historically, that includes things like trades and life skills, obviously, but we also try to share the hobbies we enjoy. Hopefully, you know, the kids find the same enjoyment and benefit from those hobbies, whether it's something athletic or artistic, something that builds good character or opens the doors to success later. Knowing that, you know, every kid is still their own person, and, you know, what we are in ourselves into might not resonate with them as much as it does with us. But the first question I wanted to ask the panel is, what's one real world hobby or pastime that you've shared with your kids that they really took to, and what kind of personal benefit did you see them get from it? And just to kind of seed that with my answer, what I've passed on is fishing. Surprisingly, not martial arts.
I was going to say, what? You're a black belt, man.
No. Yeah. So with fishing, you know, obviously it teaches you patience and determination. It teaches you that results are not guaranteed, but you also learn how to handle equipment, how to conduct yourself around others, you know, other fishermen, or, you know, if you're in a boat, especially, how not to, you know, swing around and accidentally hook somebody. It also teaches you things like responsible wildlife management. You know, you have to buy a fishing license, and you know, kids don't necessarily need to do that until they're older, but they still see that action taking place, and so they know, okay, there's something official going on here. But a big thing is it teaches care for animals. You know, if you catch and release a fish, you know, you let it go gently, you handle it nicely, you don't want to hurt it, and so like that, you know, it's kind of an unspoken thing that you learn from that, but I think that teaches a lot of just good, like, responsibility and empathy, and it's more than just, hey, here's how you catch a fish. You know, there's a lot of benefits to it.
Believe me, I'm chomping at the bit right now, Ronin, to teach my grandson how to fish. He's not 2 yet, so it's a little early. Believe me, I got the rod and reel ready to go.
But yeah, so my first question is about real world hobbies or skills that you've passed on, and then we'll move into more electronic questions.
Right.
But I just wanted to kind of start off with that, because that's, you know, that's the traditional thing that we pass on.
All right. Well, just to change things up, I'll start out this time. My son was over here visiting the other night. I think he was getting something for his house or storage unit or something. Anyway, I said, I showed your questions. I said, this is what Ronan's asking tomorrow. I said, what do you think about these two questions? And we kind of sat there and talked about it. And I was a coach in Coach Pitch baseball when he was, oh my God, I want to say probably 10, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in that age range. And although he didn't take the baseball, which broke my heart, boy could swing a bat, but he just didn't like the field, and he pretty much played with flowers in the outfield. But it taught him about playing as a team sports. And then he moved into track and field. He was a band geek. He played the snare drum. He was in the drum corps. But the main thing that we talked about is he loved, I don't know if you know what these are, but it's called VEX. It's a robotics competition between schools. VEX was very big back when he was in school. And they basically, you would build robots to do certain task, and you would be graded on it, and you had to program it, you had to build it, you had to do everything from scratch. And they had a coach that would, keep them involved. And he really learned to have fair play. He learned how to play as a team. He learned how to root people on, even if he was competing against them. He wanted them to do well, but that made him want to compete more. And he's definitely got that competitive edge like his dad does, but he did very well in VEX, and he made some really good, he had a team of people that they all worked together and all did different parts of it. Like he worked on the programming side, and someone ever worked on the actual robotic connectors, and someone worked on electrical, and then someone worked on the wireless parts of it. And it all came together for these competitions, and I had so much fun going and watching him doing those. So that is a real world thing that I kind of passed on to my son. And our daughter, she tried band, didn't like it. She just didn't really care. She was an artist. She really wanted to do art, and my wife had more pull in that area, and she passed on being creative and creating stuff in art, and she's really run with that. In fact, she got her art degree from University of South Florida, so her graphic arts degree. And then, of course, AI came rolling around, so that kind of changed her life mission a little bit. But those are examples of real world stuff that I pass down to my kids. Who wants to go next?
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, it's the two main things were exploration of the world. That can mean just hiking, but even more so just exploring and seeing things. Especially out west, we have a really great amount of national parks, mountains, everything like that, and kind of just exploring around, side roads, in the mountains, things like that, and trying to teach the kids, check out nature, but not even so much nature, but like, okay, do you appreciate exploring in the mountains, or do you appreciate going down the side streets and seeing interesting fences, but just really exploring the world? And then the other thing is the arts. I'm into all the arts too, but what I really then focused more so with the kids was like, musicals and plays and stuff, and really getting them into things like that.
Okay. All right.
And then they pretty much took to it. So yeah.
Very nice. What about you, Danger?
Well, I don't have any kids at the moment.
Yeah, that's right.
So, but
NA. Sorry. I forgot you didn't have kids yet. Sorry, man.
No worries. What
about your dad? What did your dad pass down to you as hobby wise, maybe?
I don't know if you can see behind me.
Yeah, I see him.
Guitars. So yeah, and it wasn't just my dad. My dad is a musician. My uncles were musicians. My cousins all played an instrument. Yeah. My siblings played an instrument. So like, eventually, I'm hoping that I'm able to pass that down to my kids. Even like my nieces and nephews at this point, like they are on the border of it. Like they're too young, I think, to kind of appreciate the idea of playing an instrument, because it does require a lot of patience and focus, and
it does.
Just they're young. They just don't have that mentality. They like the idea. Like we bought them a toy guitar. Like they like the idea of having it, but they play it for a minute and then they're done.
I get it. My son and daughter both took electric guitar lessons. Pretty much one string, twang, 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 twang. It was pretty basic.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I forgot to mention is with my daughter is plants. Plants is a big hobby of mine. You should see the collection of house plants and outdoor plants that I have. And in my business is past, you know, is part of it too. She is crazy about plants like her dad is. And my wife, it's kind of rubbed off on my wife too. My wife really is getting into propagation and different things in plants as well. I wanted to read some comments in the chat here before we move on to the next question. Kilvin says, neither of my sons were excited about, let's see, Deadpool and One Merc actually says, mine was wrestling and karate. Next is car and motorcycle knowledge. I tried Deadpool. My kids have nothing. They don't want anything to do with a car other than to turn the key and press the accelerator pedal. And Kilvin said, neither of my sons were really excited about it when they were at home, but now that they both have their own homes, they enjoy putting out vegetable gardens. I would have never predicted that. Yeah, that's like I said, that's why it got me the idea of plants when I read your comment, Kilvin. Scarlet Maddie said, my dad couldn't get me into baseball either. I was a wrestler. Still great lessons, though. And then Panda, hey, buddy, how you doing? Panda's in chat tonight. My dad passed down work. Perks of being the son of an obsessed business owner. You and me both, brother. My dad was self-employed for the longest time as well, and I didn't really know anything else, really. But, yeah, good comments, guys. Good comments. Okay, Ronin, what was your second question?
Yeah, so circling this back to video games, since we are the video game generation.
Yep.
What's one video game from your own experience that you've shared with your kids or a younger gamer that was a hit, you know, that they really enjoyed, and what do you think they got from it that they might not find as easily in modern popular games?
Yeah.
So just from my own experience, you know, I see a lot of the modern popular games are your battle royale types or just sort of a free space builder type of thing, you know, like your Minecraft, Roblox. And I don't see a lot of like linear story games, you know, being popular with younger gamers. And so one that I passed down, I've held on to, you know, some of my older gaming systems, and I actually got my son to play Chrono Trigger, which is it's an RPG from 1996.
Yeah.
But it's a linear story with, you know, a small cast of characters, pretty simple equipment and stuff like that. You know, being an RPG, you know, it's not a lot of complex menus, but it deals with time travel as a theme. And so you have not just, you know, the actions of your character progressing the story, but then you have to think about like what happens in the past, how it affects the future, that kind of stuff. And like seeing my son get through all the puzzles and the bosses and how, you know, learning how the mechanics of the game worked and everything. Cause you know, I wasn't like giving him, you know, the walkthrough for it. It was just like hey, here's what games were like when I was your age, you know, try playing it. And at first there was frustration, you know, just learning kind of a new style of game, but like by the end, I mean, he was so thrilled when he beat it, and he, you know, there's memorable characters and he remembers like story beats, and you know, you don't see that with like a free builder or a battle royale. And so I think that was a really, you know, something I'm happy to have passed on, is that just enjoyment of a good like RPG story.
Okay. Who wants to go first on this one?
I'll go.
Okay.
I mean, again, I don't have kids, but
nieces and nephews,
nieces and nephews. So I will say, unfortunately, like my one nephew is not really into games, video games as much. Like he's played Mario and he's okay with it. But ironically, the thing that we've kind of passed down to him that has been a huge hit, and I think has kind of opened him up more as far as socializing, because he's only 5.
Right.
Is a game from when I was a kid called Spinges. Like this is a game from like 1980.
Wow.
86,
okay,
something like that. But it's just a battle top game. It's nothing crazy. It's like you get these little tiny miniature figures or little tops. You spin them, you fight them in an arena.
Okay.
He loves this thing. Like he has gotten, you know, we'll go over to the house and he'll as soon as I walk in, he wants to play, and he wants to like, you know, shit talk and and just really battle people. But he's also like, kind of when, other kids are starting to come over, like that's the game he's trying to get the other kids to play. So there's that socialization thing that's coming out for him, because it's not just sitting in front of a TV for him. It's this is us communicating, and this is us playing together, and this is us, being in the moment.
I like it.
It's really, yeah.
Excellent, man. Excellent. What about you, Kingsley?
Yeah. This one was a little harder for me to answer, but I kind of have a couple answers here, because I actually do think older games and newer games do have more in common than we think, other than scope and graphics. But I guess if I had to think it through, probably introducing the old Mario and Zelda games. I think I'm almost positive my daughter, who's 22 now, still enjoys Zelda, and of course, Tears of the Kingdom and all the new amazing Zelda games on the Switch. So there was that. And but I do have great memories of another one that she really took to, was Little Big Planet on the PlayStation. And but I do want to give a bonus shout out, because see, when I was thinking about this too, funny enough, even though my kids knew I played video games a lot, and they enjoyed it somewhat, I never really cared that much or tried to push it on them too much, or they were kind of ambivalent. They enjoyed it enough, and they had hand-me-down systems, but they weren't super into it or super not into it. They were just kind of in the middle, if I had to guess. But a fun story more recently, shout out to a nephew on my wife's side, is out of all the people in my family, he plays Destiny some. In fact, he's actually in our Discord, Omega Owl, and we've raided with him before.
Very nice.
So I want to give a little shout out there too.
Good. Very cool. Omega Owl. Shout out to Omega Owl. Again, I talked to my son last night, and I said, when was the first game? Can you remember the first game we played together? And it was Medieval. It was a PlayStation exclusive on PS3, I think, in the 90s, sometime in the 90s. And, it taught him all about going on quest and looking for treasure and following linear stories, like you mentioned, Ronan. And you basically, what Medieval is, if you haven't played it, it's kind of like I guess a third person perspective, I guess, but you go through these worlds, and when you encounter, you have to pull a sword out, and you got to encounter and fight off enemies and stuff. Very basic game, but the way, I don't know what it is, but the way PlayStation made this game, it just sucked you in. I really had so much fun playing that. So that's the first memory he has of Medieval, and which got him into World of Warcraft. He was big into World of Warcraft as a teenager. And, he was playing it on his Xbox 360 at the time, I think. And then he moved to PC, and that was the rest is history. He hasn't touched a console since. He's definitely a PC gamer now. Now, on my daughter's side, actually my whole family side, I remember some of the best memories from playing Rock Band every night after dinner. I would play expert guitar. My son would play bass. Sometimes we would switch off. My daughter would sing. She loved to sing. My wife would play, I think, keyboards, or my son was really good at drums, and it's really what got him into playing snare drum and the drum line in high school in the marching band. It's just him playing drums, and it just came to him so easily. So that is one video game, Ronan, that he actually passed into something he loved to do in real life. And I still play Beat Saber today on my Oculus. It's just like Rock Band. And man, those games really, really connected. And I kind of wish there was a game like that again. I hear there's something like that on Fortnite, some kind of Rock Band game thing you can jump into and play, but it really we've never, in a modern game today, it seems like we've never been able to revert back to the whole family with a bunch of instruments, plastic instruments at that, but being able to follow dots on a screen. And we would play online with people in Australia, and it just had such a positive influence on my whole family. And we're all pretty musically inclined. We all have musical ears and stuff. My son can keep a beat and stuff, and he plays a really good, a really good drum set. So that would be the video game that really really we passed on to our kids, which ended up producing fruits in the real world. So to answer your question, Ron.
There is a modern game like that. You should really check it out. Now, it doesn't have the plastic instruments, but it's called Dodo Re Mi, part of the Jackbox games.
Okay.
This game is amazing. It has all the instruments. You can pick all sorts of things, and you play on your phone. So you just tap on your phone.
I think we played that.
It is a lot of fun.
My son loves the Jackbox games, and we every time we have a big get together, whether it's a holiday or whatever, we always play Jackbox games, whether it's Christmas Eve or whatever, and we love doing that. Jackbox games it's just my jam, man. We all have fun doing it, and all you need is fun. Makes it real easy. I think that's the way gaming needs to go too in the future. Ease of access definitely is important. So yeah, good call out. Yep. So yeah, good topic, Ronin. Good topic, man. Did you ever have a last word on anything to sum things up, or have you spoken your piece?
Yeah, well, just kind of the looking at the topic from 30,000 foot view. Yeah, it's just what did we enjoy and what can we pass along? But like your examples, it's the ones we can actively participate with and share those moments with the kids. So much better. I mean, that's memories that are going to last a lifetime that they're probably going to try to pass on to their own children.
Yep. Some comments here in Discord before we move on. Deadpool 1 Merc says Crash Bandicoot and Streets of Rage for my 17-year-old. And Scarlett says, oh my God, do you guys remember Leapfrog? Oh yeah, I do remember Leapfrog. Our kids learned on that. Crazy first gaming experience. I do remember the Leapfrog. My kids love that damn thing. Panda says, my younger brother is a first-person shooter fan because he would play old school Medal of Honor co-op for hours. I remember that game too, man. As an adult, it would be taking Doc through his first D2 dungeon in Mr. Monkey a few years ago. Nice, man. Scarlet, Maddie, Legend of Zelda Quest, The Four Swords. Man, that feels like a while ago. I know we're all getting older. And Deadpool and Merc, Pokemon for my 10-year-old, 4 and 2-year-old Mario Kart. Very good. Appreciate the input, guys. All right, we have one more topic, and then we'll get into our catch-up segment and questions from our community. But first, I got an apology to make. I'll explain in a minute. Be right back.
Yeah, your apology should be calling it Mario instead of Mario.
It's Mario Brothers, right?
You just said Mario.
You know why? You know why? You're muted, Danger. It's because Danger said it. Danger started it. He started. He said Mario. He said Mario.
Yeah. It's first of all, yes, I did. But in the what was that 1993 live action movie? He says Mario, and Luigi Mario.
Yeah, I know.
So that since
who cares about the movie? The creators of Japan say it's Mario.
He's the purist. Don't argue.
Can't help it, man.
Don't argue.
My South
Danger.
Jersey accent. I can't help it.
I say it both ways, actually. And Mario has actually grown on me over the years. I've been saying it more Mario, but
my wife yells at me all the time because I say Mario.
Really?
And she's like, it's not how it's pronounced. I'm like, I don't know how else to say it.
It used to be
everybody
a
else.
thing.
I'm like,
It's a me, Mario.
It used to be a thing in our
Mario.
Discord a while back. Everyone was Mario or Mario, yeah. Respect for weaponizing the movie, Greg. Yeah, Panda says. Yeah.
love you, buddy.
I like that. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the final topic tonight. I even have some footage I want to show you guys. Hopefully it'll come through. I'll pipe it into the Discord as well once we get to that point. But all right, here we go. All right, for the final topic tonight, I wanted to first apologize because Arc Raiders was my game of the month for February, and I played with a couple of our community members, and I ran with my gaming buddy Native Raider in the Elmer Fudd tournament, and then pretty much I just set it aside and played Marathon and Destiny 2 and maybe another game. Now that I've sunk an additional 100 hours into this game, I am amazed at what Embark Studios created here. I see the light now, guys. I really do. This game is massive, and the maps are enormous. I mean, it reminds me of the days of Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 where the battlefields just spanned forever. And there were so many little nooks and crannies and all kinds of little features that each of the maps had. And you could just see the love they put into the map design. It's the same with Arc Raiders. It is my new obsession, and I've been jumping into raids solo, and I've just been so enthralled in the gameplay and all the environments that I'll look up and 4 hours have passed. That's how good this game is right now. Reminds me of my Destiny days when I would get really enthralled and really focused in on a mission to try to get done. My wife even noticed that I looked tired last weekend, and I was just too ashamed. I was too ashamed to tell her that I had been grinding every night late, trying to get my upgrading my workbenches so I could craft items in the game that I needed. So wow, what a game changer this studio has created. And I mentioned to you before we went live, Kingsley, I really think you would like discovering all these new worlds. But I realize, it's an extraction shooter. It's not a discovery game. I get that, but man, it sure feels like it when I'm playing it. But like I said, if you're a Destiny 2 player and the content is a little dry right now, and you're looking for something to try, I urge you to check this game out. I really do. I know the laboratory reagents, Scarlet. Yeah, you got to go to the damn battlegrounds. You got to go up into the medical areas, man. That's how you do it. Oh my God. I miss the old Destiny days where you had all of these new worlds and all you wanted to do was just go around and discover everything. And, like I said, if you're a Destiny 2 player and you like collecting loot and you like discovering things, and man, the battles are amazing, you got to check this game out. And it's $40. It's $40 to play this game. But there is, of course, some drama in the Arc Raiders community today, and that is between the PvP side of the things and the PvE players. And you could also say it's between the streamers and the casual players. Now, looking from the streamer's point of view here, it's all about entertaining their audience, right? I mean, when Peanut has 20,000 people watching his Arc Raider streams, there's a lot of pressure on him to keep things interesting. I mean, they are entertainers, just like any showbiz profession out there. But then there's the casual audience. These are the people like me, the gaming dads and moms that play after a long day's work and just want to relax and discover something new in these massive worlds. Or they want to get into a fight, with these constant flow of arc enemies that keep crossing your path, and not get shot in the back by rat players who just want to kill other raiders for nothing but for mere entertainment. I might be a little biased on that point of view, but anyway, I digress. The streamers play for content, and they really burn through it. I mean, they're playing 8 to 10 hours a day as their job. They're accumulating thousands of hours of gameplay. So the feedback they give back to the developers is, there's nothing left to play, and I'm bored. Does that sound familiar to anyone who has ever played a Destiny game in the last 7 years? I mean, come on. It's so parallel to what Destiny and Bungie had been going through with their game. The streamers, they get stream sniped from viewers as well, and it makes it difficult to get those big gaming plays, that clippable content, that they want to post on their YouTube channels. Streamers like Stroud and Ninja, they've moved on to other games. And there lies the problem. Casual players are loving this game, including me. They have been a fraction of, they have maybe a fraction of the game time piled up that, the streamers do. But some of them don't even have the highest tier weapons yet. And that's me. I don't even have the best weapons in the game yet. And the streamers have an entire inventory of the best stuff. So you can see kind of the dichotomy here, what's going on. So what do developers do to appease the streamers? They nerf weapons. They make crafting items more expensive and other adjustments just to create more resistance to getting everything, and to getting everything in the game. And the casual players, it's an unnecessary tax that we have to pay just to enjoy the game and what it has to offer. And of course, the cheaters that ruin everyone's day seems to be a pattern these days with any multiplayer game out there, right? This battle has played out, though, in so many online games in the past. Remember H1Z1? One of the original, I think it was one of the original, what do they call it, Battle Royale games that was out there. You can even say the current Call of Duty games as well. They've lost all their casual player bases because these studios pivot so hard to cater to these competitive players and streamers. In these games, I think they just lost their identity of what the developers initially wanted to create for players. So when it comes to the success of Arc Raiders, I think Embark needs to make sure they listen also to that silent majority, not just the streamers. I think other games could kind of learn from this as well. So here I am. I'm finding myself in this weird position I'm actually the new Destiny player that loves the Destiny game for what it is, but now in Arc Raiders. So if anyone is listening or watching or knows anybody who works at Embark or knows, anybody has a connection to Embark that could pass along this message, here's my take as a casual new player entering this game. First, I kind of feel the PvP in this game is an afterthought. It kind of shows. I know initially it was only a PvE game, and the playtesters, I guess they thought it was too slow. But I'll tell you this, 8 out of every 10 raids that I've jumped into solo, I've encountered the coolest players who just want to help you out. I got killed by a hornet on one of my first runs in Buried City, and a gamer jumped out of a window in a building crying out if anyone had a defib so they could pick me up. And she could probably tell I was a noob because I died to a damn hornet. Another raid, I had a raider say hello and then proceeded to give me a blueprint to one of the highest level weapons in the game. I was beside myself. I said, dude, I don't have anything to give back to you. He goes, oh, that's all right. I already got one. I just want to make sure someone else got it. I have communicated with other players using an open mic system that what do they call it? The close range voice chat or whatever. And it is more proximity chat. And it is more sociable than Destiny is at the moment. I've had some really chill conversations with other players who could just shoot me dead at any moment. And it seems like getting shot seems like a defect in this game at this point. Usually it's just some maxed out players who are bored. I had one player who had a laser scope sniper that was just gunning down everybody. You could just hear the crack of that sniper. And he was just bored. He just wanted to kill people. He wanted to have a manhunt, I guess. I don't know. But we would all get together as other runners, raiders in the game, and we'd tell everybody, keep your head down. There's some guy with a laser scope sniper out there. So the camaraderie, the socialization is there. It's really strong too. So to me, Arc Raiders already has a built-in PvP game. It's all about the competition for getting the highest loot. You go to these certain hotspots in the maps. Who gets it first is kind of the PvP game, and you don't have to shoot anybody for it. Also, when you have 8 solo players working together to fight a queen or a matriarch enemy, which are these massive, like War of the Worlds machines. Just enormous machines that there's no way you could ever take them down by yourself. It's just all about that teamwork. You're trying to work together to kill this thing. And then once it explodes and they fall down to the ground and all the pieces and parts are there, it's like a mad dash. Everybody scrambles to that point to try to pick up that part that they're looking for in the game. It's so much fun, man. It's an experience. Plus, I don't have to reset my progress. There's no seasonal wipes. It's optional. I don't have to do the expedition. I can just keep everything that I've been collecting over this last season. To me, I think Arc Raiders needs to follow the model of Helldivers 2. I remember when it first arrived, so many players were banding together for that common cause to kill all the bugs out there, right? To do our part. That's what Embark needs to evolve into. This studio reminds me of when Bungie was in its early days in Destiny 2. And I see a lot of parallels between Bungie and Embark right now. But I think given the option of a PvE only game mode, I really think players would band together to kill the most giant of Arc enemies out there. And once accomplished, I think it really could build friendships that last for decades. I still have friends from the old Battlefield days that I talk to today. I don't think this game needs PvP, as the Arc enemies are so smart and they adapt and react to the players. I just want to show you something here real quick. This is some footage of a fight I had with a Leaper. It's a mid-level enemy. It's not even a high-level enemy, but I'm going to pipe it to the screen here too. This is me. Hopefully you can hear the audio. I'm fighting. These are the different enemies that I'm fighting in the game. Share my screen here. Shoot. Why am I not hearing any audio? For some reason there's no audio, but I shoot this bombardier. It's like a big flying enemy. And I run out there and then realize there's 2 hornets and two wasp and a hornet that come after me. So I throw a decoy grenade. I'm running. You got to have cover in this game because these enemies will put you flat on your back really quick. So here's the hornet. I'm shooting it, And then there's 2 wasps that are actually maneuvering around to try to flank me. These enemies are so smart. They really try to adapt. They try to think about what you're going to do next. And it's just really fun. This is a firefly. It's one of the newer enemies. It actually has a flamethrower on it, and it will frickin' melt you if you get too close to it. I finally blow that up, and then I'm shooting this wasp out here, and it starts coming after me. And you notice I'm getting points for everything I do in the game. The damage I do in XP, I'm getting that points added to my rank, which adds up all the time. Yeah, it was a Rocketeer Scarlet. That's what it was. But I'm going to, I finally, yeah, this is the, he's trying to, it's just amazing how they try to stay alive. I don't know how I didn't get killed there. For audio listeners, I'm showing footage here. I'm trying to talk through it as well. But these enemies are just so incredibly smart. And it's, let me see if I can turn this up. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. There we go. But this is the Leaper. This is a mid-level enemy here. It's like a big spider, a mechanical spider. And I'm trying to shoot this thing, and I you can see it's playing hide and seek with me, and then it's trying to jump after me. I'm trying to play just ring around the rosy with it, because if it gets near me, I'm dead meat. And you can see we're just playing hide and seek here, and you can see it's called a leaper because it leaps in the air and crashes down on top of you. And then I realize I'm out of ammo. I didn't bring enough ammo to fight this thing. And if you listen, it taunts me. Hear it? It's sitting here taunting me to come at it. And I'm like, okay, Leroy Jenkins time. I grab my pickaxe and I just come out. Look, it reacts to me. I'm trying to swing at this damn thing like a newborn baby. And it finally says, oh yeah? Injures me here with this close attack. And then finally, I try to put down a trap to try to hurt it. I didn't have enough time. It crushes me. Game over. That's all Embark needs in this game. That's all they need. They don't need other... Can you imagine me killing this thing? And then some rat PvP player comes by and decides to just shoot me in the back? What a disappointment that would be. This is called a shredder. It's one of the new enemies they just put in the game. It's literally a shrapnel bomb that floats around, and you just have to keep yourself between it and some kind of hard surface. Otherwise, it'll just take you right out. But like I said, I just wanted to show you that what that looks like, and also you have the game within a game also, because you have to basically use your inventory wisely. You have to decide what to keep. You have to decide what to craft, what to get rid of, what to sell. And the currencies are pretty simple. You have coins up top, you have reputation, which is in blue, and then you have the silver in Destiny. You have the purchasable stuff you can, if you want to buy cosmetic stuff. No pay to play. It's all just cosmetic stuff you can buy. But you can see you have 280 slots here, and you have to manage that. That is the game within the game right there. And then finally, look at these worlds, guys. Look at these worlds. They are... The sound design in this game is so good. And you can see in the far distance, that's a matriarch. I'll try to swing back to it here. There's a matriarch. See how big that thing is? How the hell am I going to kill that thing? I'd have to have like a bunch of friends team up and do that. This is space port. It's like an old space, old launching pad or something. I mean, the maps are so intricate in this game. It is just amazing. You got weather elements, Kingsley. You got rain falling. You got cloudy skies. There'll be days when it's crystal clear, like this next set. Be crystal blue skies out. Just a nice breeze, beautiful day. I just can't say enough about this game. But like I said, it's just been a wonderful experience. And what we were talking a long time ago, what a Destiny 3 would need to have. That is what a Destiny 3 needs to have for a Destiny 3 to be successful. If you notice, most of the enemies in Destiny, you just shoot them and they're dead. They don't really react to you. I mean, okay, the Vandals pop in and out between cover and stuff, but I'm playing that on a PS5 Pro, by the way, just so you guys know that footage I showed you. But yeah, it's on PlayStation. It's on all the consoles. It's on PC. And I have just been so freaking amazed by this game. And it reminds me of really where gaming is going. And this is what a Destiny 3 needs to have. It needs to have needs to have enemies that react to you and are smart. And I think that's where a lot of AI even down the road could come in a Destiny 3 game. But I don't know if you guys play Arc Raiders or not. I didn't even ask you when I came up with this topic, but I was just so excited to talk about it. But do you guys play, any of you guys play Arc Raiders at all? Just curious.
I tried it and it's not for me, but look, I'm excited you're into a new game. I'm just laughing though, because guess what? You're actually playing another game. There's other games like this.
I'm obsessed. I am obsessed. Kingsley. I might have a problem.
I'm seeing like a combination. I'm seeing all these videos. It looks like a combination of Horizon Zero Dawn and Division or something, but
now
there are other games that do things like this.
Oh, believe me, I have Crimson Desert lined up. I'm ready to play it because I heard it's just as fun and beautiful as well. But I'm so obsessed with this game right now. So I might have a problem.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. And then a couple other interesting points. It kind of adds to the many discussions we had previous weeks that you really do have to put sometimes 10 or more hours into a game until you really start to appreciate it. And I was trying to tell people that, and then you even
I apologize.
Well, I know you don't have the time.
Yes,
but
I didn't need to apologize, but I was just proving my point that I really gave it a short review before really diving in and playing the game. And man, that's all I think about now is my next run. What am I going to get? And here's the thing. There's so many things to unlock in this game. There's blueprints. They have blueprints hidden everywhere. And guess what? It's all RNG. You never know. I found a blueprint prying a hood off a car, and boom, there's a blueprint. I'm like, oh, safe pocket. I don't want to lose that. But my point is the battle that's going on between the streamers and the casual players now. I think where Arc Raiders needs to find its way is what Destiny did, what Destiny and Destiny 2 did. Create a game mode for Crucible, create a game mode for PvP, and just create another game mode where we don't have to worry about losing our shit to other players. Because believe me, the Arc enemies are smart and they are hard enough to kill. If you do not take them seriously, if I'm looking at all of my, I'm looking at all of my times I got knocked down because they keep a game log of all your runs. There's like 2 or 3 where someone shot me in the back while I was looting a cabinet. Just lame shit like that. But it's almost all from Arc enemies where I didn't take them seriously enough, and I paid the price for it, and I lost everything. That's the game right there. I don't understand why they say it was too slow a game, but I'm level 56 now, I think, in it. I don't know what the max level is. I think 130 I heard or something, but then I think you unlock other things as your level grows up. I don't know. I really have been keeping a blind eye on just enjoying the game itself, but wow. What a damn game.
Okay. We got a little distracted on some of my points, but yeah.
Sorry.
Also, you were saying about how you were kind of contradictory on how like a lot of people say there's nothing to do, but then you're also admitting they need to add more to the game. That's why, if you put a lot of hours into the game, of course you're going to leave. And the game is down about, we shouldn't be focusing on numbers, but the game is down about 80%, more than even Marathon is down at this point. Yeah. And it makes sense. Like if they've collected all the things, you should move on to another game until they add more stuff. I would love for them to add PvE stuff for you or whoever likes that. And you can't say it's just the streamers because 80% of people leave, and that's not just the streamers. That's I think other people too,
I've been watching a lot of videos on this, Kingsley, and I think what the consensus is the people who are casual players who just are enjoying the worlds like I am right now are getting shot by PvP players that have everything and are just shooting players because they're bored. There's nothing else they want to do. And I think that might be contributing to people just saying, you know what? I just want to sit back and enjoy a world and craft stuff. It's a survival shooter, right? I want to survive these Arc enemies. And then when they just get shot in the back while looting a cabinet, it just kind of gets frustrating. And I really think the PvP was kind of a second thought on this game. I really don't think it's needed. Now, Marathon's a different story. It's definitely hardcore PvP, but this game is not the same.
I think we can blame most of the issues on the people that do that, because if a lot of people left and we're still claiming that's the thing, I heard from day one, Arc Raiders was a majority of people work together. So I still think most people have left because they're just,
it could be
they've done most of the stuff.
And they have a big seasonal update coming too, by the way. I can't remember what it's called. Something River or something. It's a whole new map.
Need more stuff in games like this, and that'll get some people back. And I'm super glad you're enjoying a new game, and then hopefully you'll eventually try some other games too if you ever get a little less interested in this game, but hopefully it'll last you a long time.
Yeah, and Scarlett says there's a new map on Tuesday. Yeah, it's a Rivers something. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a whole new map. These maps, Kingsley, these maps are enormous, but they're on that same treadmill that Destiny was on. If they don't keep up the seasonal content, people are going to lose. This is part of being a live service game, guys. If you're going to create a live service game, you got to have stuff way in advance ready to rock. And I think
and that's how it should be. If you think about a single player game, it's one and done. If you look at the charts, it's also, you look at the graph, everyone buys it on day one, and then it goes down 80, 90%. So there's nothing wrong that it's necessarily down 80% right now, but if they want to get more people, they got to add more content.
Scarlett says, do you think adding a PvE only mode?
People don't really like the end game as much. So.
Well, Scarlett KM said, do you think that adding a PvE mode would bring back some of the 80% that left? I think it would bring it up at least some, because I think a lot of people want that PvE only game mode, and I actually thought they were going to do it. That's kind of why I held out on Arc Raiders. I thought they were going to bring back that PvE only game mode, but they never did. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I've been blabbing. I'm excited about this game, but Danger or Ronin, you guys have any comments on this? I'm curious.
Yeah, so before the show, when I was looking up info on this topic, I found a couple things. One article just from maybe the last week talks about the player breakdown, and it's like a perfect bell curve of 30% play only PvE, 30% focus more on PvP, and then the middle 40% does a mixture of the two.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like you're saying, like players definitely want, one mode or the other just from those numbers. With the option, I guess, of being able to swap between them.
Right.
And they've got what do they call it? Aggression-based matchmaking.
Yep. I have not. I'm a pacifist. I have not killed a soul yet. If someone shoots me, I'm like, go ahead. I had one guy chasing me down and he shot me because I guess he saw me running through the middle of the map. I said, dude, I had my mic on. I said, dude, I've got a free kit on. Shoot me. Go ahead. You're going to get a free kit. That's all you're going to get. And he gave me healing stuff. He was trying to heal me back. And then a big vaporizer came above us. And I said, well, I guess we're both F now. And then he started hauling ass and I started running and I died, obviously. It's amazing, man, how the interactions are in the game. But sorry to interrupt you.
The bell curve thing, because that's some actual statistics that show it's not just one or the other.
What do you think, Ronan? Was this something you'd want to play if you haven't played it?
So for me personally, and Kingsley touched on this earlier, talking about how it reminds him of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
Arc Raiders to me seems like a mixture of elements from a lot of games and genres that I play like separately, just kind of thrown together. And for me, that makes it almost like a spork, where it's it's trying to be a lot of things and it's almost there, but the elements they add in, you talked about Helldivers 2 earlier. I love playing that game, but it's like Arc Raiders in that, friendly fire is always on and, accidents can happen, but it's not like your success in those missions is determined by how well your team achieves the objective. And it dumps you in a team of 4, by default.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody's aligned to the same goal, and it's not like one's a random player that's just trying to snipe people and take their stuff.
Right.
So you kind of know going in that you can expect people to try to cooperate, and that's where a lot of the fun of the game comes from.
Yeah.
What I would like in Arc Raiders 2 is more like a like the Lawless Frontier invasions in Destiny, where you're trying to, build your rep with the syndicates or whatever, and, just trying to do the mission. And then all of a sudden some player drops in and starts trying to pick you all off. Like players had the option to not have that mode available. And I'm sure, some players took advantage of that. Others, had fun. I invaded, several times just, because, I want to try the mode out, and I had a good time.
Right.
But yeah, I think forcing everybody to play in that environment, and with Arc Raiders, it, especially like having all your gear and stuff like taken from you, there's that added element that I think makes it more like your, classical extraction shooters like Tarkov or something like that. But players aren't necessarily wanting to like consent to that style of gameplay, but it's always there. And the articles I read, you were talking about how PvP got added into it, and the developers debated whether to include that or not.
Right.
What I saw that they had said was they wanted to add it in because it heightens the sense of risk and danger.
Yeah, I get that.
And it definitely does that, but it's like, I don't want to be the guy that's, heightening someone else's sense of risk and danger in the game if I'm just wanting to play the game too.
Yeah. There's so much to do in this game, Ronin, that I really, like I mentioned with Helldivers, I think this game needs a common cause. Final Shape had it. We want to defeat the Witness, right? It all built up to the Final Shape. We all loved to play that campaign because we wanted to come together to play that Salvation's Edge raid, and finally defeat the Witness. That's what Arc Raiders lacks right now. There's no, yes, if it's very Matrix-like, it reminds me of maybe that's why I'm love this game so much, because in the Matrix, everybody lived down below and they'd either hack into the system or they would get in these ships and these sentinels would chase the ships and stuff. You know, the movies. It's very, very much parallel to the different kinds of creatures that have been mechanized to kill humans, and a lot of parallels with the Matrix, kind of like. But I think if we had a common cause, if there was every season it ramped up where there's a bigger and bigger threat, or there's something that this is heading towards where we can have that Matrix moment where we beat the final, I can't remember what they called him, the architect. We wanted to finally kill the architect, right? And reboot and restart everything. That's what Arc Raiders is lacking right now, is that common cause. Other than we want to kill Arc, yes. But I think people get bored after a while. They're like, well, yeah, I've been killing Arc, I've been doing my part and everything, but where does this go? Where does this lead to? It just leads to another raid. So I think that's what Embark needs to figure out. And I if they do that, I think it will become a 10-year game like they say it will be. It'll be a carbon copy of what Destiny and Destiny 2 was. So Danger, go ahead, man. I know I haven't let you talk here, man. What do you think?
And that's right. So I think this game has potential, but I don't think adding a PvE is going to solve anything.
Okay.
Like I've played Arc Raiders. I'll be honest, I've played a couple of hours. It just wasn't my thing.
That's
I think
cool.
the final straw for me was extracting into whatever the mainland is. And before I even take
Esperanza or something,
yeah, Speranza, whatever. Before I even took a step, I got sniped, and that was it. I was done.
Oh yeah,
so
frustration.
So it's like, right, and then it just kept happening, like these little moments like this, and that's fine. Like the people that want to do that, more power to them. Yeah. I think for somebody that like, when I'm gaming, I don't always have the time to game. So when I do, like, I want to be able to go in and it maybe set some time aside, do some certain objectives, whatever it may be.
Exactly.
I want to feel like I've accomplished something. In that game, I don't feel like I'm accomplishing anything. And I don't think a PvE is going to solve anything because that game is set up to be a blend.
Mm-hmm.
And you would need to do something like Titanfall 2, which is another extraction shooter. But they had a campaign and they had a PvP option, and you could choose one or the other.
Yep.
It wasn't both.
Right.
I think they're past the point where that's an option now. They can't go back. They can't add. They can't really. I mean, unless they do, and if they do and they pull it off, great. But I don't think that they have the ability to set up. Like, you're looking for a common goal. Like, what in the game so far that you've played throws it out there that there's this thing that's looming that could be a common goal, or could be something for everybody to rally against, because at the end of the day, they really haven't done much, at least in what I've played and what I've been reading over the last couple of months. It really hasn't been anything like that in the game. And also, you're still going to have the players, like, we're talking about like the bell curve. You're still going to have the players that are strictly just want to play PvP. So you're not going to, it's never going to be a perfect system.
And it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because I think if this was made as a survival shooter, and they just would maybe as your rank gets higher, the number of arc that you see on the map increases. It ramps up with your level that you're playing at. I don't know, man. I don't know how they fix this, but the very similar problems to Destiny. Destiny tried to reinvent itself with this, what do they call it? The thing after the final shape, and then they have this new storyline where it's all about the 9 now, and I don't know if it's as strong as the Witness is, and I don't know if people are buying into it, and certainly the numbers are definitely showing that. But
well, the bigger issue there is just less content, not so much the story.
Yeah, and it's a live service game. You gotta keep on that treadmill if you want people to play your live service game. And I've thrown a few shekels their way. I've bought a few cosmetic items as well for some real money. I only paid $40 for the game. I feel like I'm going to get probably 500 hours out of this game at least. But the thing that gets me is what all gamers love. That's the gambling aspect, because you could pry open anything in this world and you never know what you're going to get. That's what keeps me playing, man. That's that dopamine hit. When something pops up and you hear that, it's like a little musical. It's like when an exotic engram drops in Destiny, you hear it, you know it, and you're like, oh, what's this? So yeah, I know a lot of times you do get rubber parts,
like RNG in Destiny.
But in something, but that's what keeps this game interesting, because every raid, you never know what you're going to get. You never know what you're going to run into.
Yeah.
And if you eliminate the PvP aspect of it, where I don't have to worry about being so freaking weird about someone running around me and having to shine my flashlight and say, hey, friendly, I'm just trying to do a mission over here or something. You have to sit there and negotiate with everybody. It's just so tiresome, man. I'd rather be like, hey, man, do you guys know where that mission, where I'm supposed to go on that tower? And they can walk you to it and show it to you. Oh, you can also drop stuff for players. Say, there's something you have that you have a ton of. You can say, hey, man, do you have this gun? Here, have this gun. If it was PvE only, I could see the interaction being even more coordinated. I don't know. And then have the PvP mode. If people want to jump in and just have like a battle royale where everyone shoots and who's the last one out. I don't know.
Anyway. I think if you switch to just a PvE mode, though, I think this game dies in 2 months.
That's not
because
good.
Because think about what you just said. You mentioned that you are getting the dopamine rush of gambling through looting. If you take away the added fear or danger of somebody's going to come in and shoot me in the back while I'm over here trying to, pry open this cabinet, and I could lose everything.
Yeah.
At that point, you're just like, oh, great, I got loot again. Oh, boy, I got loot again. Oh, look, more loot. Yay, this is great. And you just get so bored. And that's, to me, that was one of my final straws with Destiny, was it became like, I have the same gun 18 times. What am I going to do with this? Because I played a strike for the 80th time.
But Greg, what if this happens though, while you're there bored because you're looting and getting the same stuff, or maybe you're looking for a certain blueprint or something and you finally get it or whatever, and you're saying, okay, I got everything, I'm done. No. Then a bombardier comes flying over you out of the blue. You didn't see it coming, and all of a sudden you have a major battle on your hands. That's where the fun is, man, is trying to battle these arc enemies. And dude, I'm telling you, these enemies are so smart. You'll be playing peekaboo out different doors in a building, trying to get cover, and you'll go out and go, where did it go? And all of a sudden it'll swoop down all of a sudden like it's trying to surprise you. Dude, it is the most exhilarating part of this game, is fighting those arc enemies. They did a great thing. And I think that's where gaming will go. I think the enemies will start getting smarter and smarter in more games.
But isn't that just the PvP aspect, though? If that's part of the fun, is like you have these smart enemies that are coming after you. It's the same thing. You just the only difference is one's AI, one's human.
But the PvP, the PvE enemies that you're fighting and shooting, there's kind of a routine you need to go through to pick that, and there's a reason why they're coming at you, where you just never know with a human being, man. You never know. They may just come up to you and just shoot you because why they want to. There's no rhyme or reason why you did it. You know, why people shoot you in the game. And then most of the time it's because people are just bored. And I'm like, well, hey, dude, if you're bored, go help me blow that bombardier up over there. It's going to take us about 20 minutes. And we only got 30 minutes to be on the map, by the way. So the clock is always ticking. You know I love timers. The clock is always ticking. You got 30 minutes to grab as much crap as you can and try to survive.
I've already done that 50 times. So they should just go to a different game if they're bored.
Well, yeah. Hey, they only paid $40 for the game. You know, if you've done everything in the game, which by the way, will take you thousands of hours to do, then you've played that game to death, man. I think you've got your money's worth. Then move on and play Crimson Desert. Damn it, you got me saying Desert Crimson now. But anyway, I didn't want to go too down the rabbit hole, but I just had to reevaluate that game tonight because, man, what a difference putting just a few more hours into a game. If anything, Kingsley, it's taught me to put some more time into these games before just making an assumption that they're not that great, you know, or average. So it's not Destiny, right?
Yeah, especially if you're with the controls enough. Like, I still think there's nothing wrong with someone going off of a game half an hour in if it's just ass. But like, if you can at least enjoy it enough and you're not sure, you got to put more hours into the game to kind of see. And then a lot of times things just open up so much more and you can really appreciate a game.
And you understand the systems. You understand what the whole philosophy of the game is then. And let's face it, most games are terrible at teaching that stuff in the beginning.
How many times? I know. See, it's not just Destiny. But anyways, how many times have we told Destiny people that are new coming into the game? It's like, you may not appreciate everything yet, but try this, try that, try the dungeon and stuff. And then, you know, still may not like the game, but at least then a lot of people do once, at least, again, if they're newer players. We've been through all this a million times, but
got you.
They may say, well, this is really cool. There's a lot of stuff.
I just see so many parallels with the live service games between Destiny and Arc Raiders right now. And I definitely want to point that out tonight. So, all right, let's sit back and just catch up now, have some fun. We've stated all our topics tonight. Let's just sit back and have fun now and catch up, and we'll do that right after this. Thank God, because I got to get a drink. The only thing when I do topics, I gotta talk a lot. All right.
You could talk less.
Zombie, you're exactly right, man. You got to get those reps in. It's what it's all about, man. You got to get the reps in.
That's too vague. What kind of reps are we talking about?
He's talking about learning games, getting your reps in. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Geez. All right, let's get into our catch up. We're pretty good on time. We're doing pretty good tonight. All right.
Wink, wink, not.
Okay, here we go. All right, it's that time of our show where we just sit back, catch up, and just see what everybody's been doing, what they've been playing, what they've been gaming. Danger, I'm gonna start with you, man. What have you been gaming lately? I haven't listened to the latest episode of Dudes Playing Stuff, so I don't know what you're gaming right now. So, what's going on in your life? What have you been gaming? What have you been doing, man? Anything you want to talk about?
Let's see what's been going on in my life. Christ. Let's see. My bowling league just ended, so like my days have kind of opened up a little
what's
bit.
Your average, man? What's your average? I'm curious.
This year I ended on a 188.
That's good. That's respectable.
Trying some the bowling alley that we go to, they rebuilt the whole thing. So we had a lot of problems with the lanes this year. So a lot of people struggled.
Okay.
So it was rough, but so just ended. Taking a break now. I have more time for gaming.
Are you a two-handed bowler or are you a one-handed bowler? Do you use a thumb?
One-handed.
Thumb. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Just want to cure.
Yeah. It's the same team I've had for the past couple of years. It's me, my little brother, our cousin-in-law, and just two of our friends kind of joined in.
Nice.
Let's see what else. I've gotten really into tabletop gaming over the last couple years. The big thing now has been Warhammer 40,000 over the last 2 years. I've gotten into painting and model making and trying to learn the game. Video game wise, the last couple games I've been playing Pragmata, which just came out.
Yeah, what do you think of that? Yeah.
I love it. I love it. It's so much fun. It is a game that is not it doesn't really hold your hand. It wants you to make mistakes and start again. But it's also just like a fun, you know, go into a room, shoot some enemies, learn. Like they have an interesting like a battle phase where you can do a hacking system. So it's almost like you're learning how to do like quick hacks and before you shoot. And you can like lower defenses and all that stuff.
Shortcuts and stuff, kind of.
Yeah, kind of
Gotcha.
like yeah.
Okay.
Level up your character, but that's been a lot of fun. Another game I just started playing is called Replaced. It's like a 2.5D platform shooter. It's if Blade Runner was a game, it's probably the best way I would describe it. It's very cyberpunky.
That sounds fun.
Dark and gritty. Yeah, check it out. It's what's the other one? And Windrose has been a big thing in our community.
I've heard so many good things about Windrose, man, and it's very much.
Mama.
It's like a survival game, right? Windrose. It's very deep game too.
A very deep game. If you took all the best parts of the boat battles from Black Flag, and then added in a little bit of a survival aspect of it, it is a lot of fun. I've been sinking a lot of hours into that in my free time. There's a lot to do, and it's still early access. So I'm very excited to see how this game's going to keep playing out as it goes along.
Yeah, I know Rodimus has been talking about it a lot. He was talking about it last time he was on the show.
Yeah.
Good things, man. I've heard good things about that game.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about the future of gaming, man. I love these worlds that you get lost in. It's just so cool. I love pirates, man. I was such a pirate kid. I loved pirates. I don't know why I don't play more pirate games, but I think Panda said it's Windrose is a pirate in Minecraft. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Okay. All right.
Depends how you play it, but yes, it's pretty accurate.
But it's a realistic game, though, isn't it? And a pretty photorealistic, or?
It's more realistic than I would say Sea of Thieves is.
Okay,
gotcha. Sea of Thieves is very cartoony.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it's photorealistic.
Yeah, like it's still got a little bit of a.
But it's not
aspect,
Minecraft, though. It's not like Minecraft.
No.
Okay,
no,
gotcha.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for like a lot of the games that are coming out.
Oh,
like,
Red Dead. Okay.
What's it called? There's a lot of games I have on my wish list right now that for like co-op fun games. Like there's a game called We're So Cooked. It's basically the game is just you and your friends trying to figure out how to hide a body. That's it. That's the whole thing. So
nice.
Could be a fun party game.
That sounds fun. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool deal. I wish I could play as many games as some of you guys, but I don't know what it is, man. I really like playing one game, and I tell my son, I shake it to death. I grab it and I shake it to death, and when there's nothing else I can do in it, then I move on and find something else. And I'm getting better at that now. Kingsley's trying to break the cycle. So
well, you complain first, right? And then
of course that you got to have the drama, man. Got to have the drama first. But anything else been going on you want to mention, Danger? More players are currently on Steam. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's about it at the moment.
Okay. Mr. RoninRedLion. I know you've been raiding with us on Saturdays, but what's going on in your life, man? What's going on right now? I haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, just outside of the weekly Destiny raid, I've been trying to branch out and play like more, I'd call it bite-sized games. I don't have like a large backlog of big like AAA titles that I haven't played or anything like that. I've just kind of started testing the waters. There was one on PlayStation Plus that they recommended called Neva. Neva.
Okay.
It's made by the same company that released an earlier game called Gris, Gris, okay. And they're sort of Metroidvania platformer type of games with puzzle elements, but they're very artistic. I mean, the emotions that they convey just from like the music and the scenery and everything, like it's done really well, and so I'm enjoying that one. And then also like Danger, I've been playing Pragmata. Enjoying the heck out of that. Like mechanically, it's a neat game. I love the way it plays with the hacking mechanic and everything. But for me, it goes a level deeper because my daughter loves to sit and watch and play along with me. She's preschool age, so not getting very involved, but there's the game. The internet has nicknamed it Dad Space because the over the shoulder third person, it looks like Dead
Yeah.
Space, if you remember those games.
Yeah, I remember.
But
I thought you said Dad
but-
Space.
yeah, Dad Space. So that's what they've nicknamed it because
Because of Dead Space. I got you.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's your main character is an adult male, and then
Yeah.
you find this AI that it's shaped like a little girl, and so that's why my daughter just loves playing along and watching it with me because it's like that's us on screen. It's just
That's
it's so cool. So I'm not allowed to play it without her watching.
Oh boy.
But maybe slow to for me to finish this one because we don't have a whole lot of time. But yeah, it's just it's so cool, and I'm really enjoying it. And,
How old's your little girl
so,
now? How old's your little girl now?
preschool age. She's 5.
Okay, nice. Oh man, it's a good time to get into gaming. I love it.
Yep. I've got some old controllers that the battery might be.
She's playing, man. She's driving, right? She's driving.
Yes.
Give her the fake wheel.
So yeah, that's a lot of fun. And then just on the TV side, we're fixing to start the 6th season of All Creatures Great and Small. I've talked about this one several times in the TV channel, and the latest season just came out. So we're getting ready to see the latest season of that.
Nice.
And that's a really good show. I recommend that to everybody.
Can you name it again?
All Creatures Great and
All
Small.
Creatures Great and Small. Yeah, you mentioned that last time. I remember. Okay. All Creatures Great and Small. Man, I'm writing a lot of stuff down tonight. Okay. Awesome. Man, there's so much to watch on streaming now too. A lot of stuff. Okay.
I would recommend Margot. Margot has money problems. If you need another show,
it's on my Apple Watch list. Yeah, it's on my list.
So good.
It looks
so
good. My wife wants. And see, there's certain shows that my wife is like, "Oh, I want to see that." I'm like, "Damn it." Okay, that means we got to have a night together where we can sit down and watch it. Because if I watch it ahead of her, it's like I'm cheating on her. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Ronan. Keep going, man. What else you got? What else you want to talk about?
That's really all I got. Just had a shout out for Allocate and the Friday Night Raid crew. So last week we let I'm not sure what she calls it, but it's a pair of randomizer wheels that choose the raid and then what weird modifier we have to go with. And we landed on Last Wish 0 to Hero.
Wheel of Misfortune.
Yeah, Wheel of Misfortune. That's it. So we did a Last Wish 0 to Hero. Kingsley, I think, was listening in the chat too, and it was a blast. I mean, I didn't think we'd get it done, and we ended up pulling it off. So that was that was an experience.
That's awesome, man. Hey, man, you gotta mix it up, and there's not a whole lot to do in Destiny right now. And unfortunately, the raids are still a lot of fun for getting a group of 6 together and having some fun on a Friday night. Can't beat that. Good deal, man. Well, it's good to talk with you again, man. I know we don't talk much during the raid because we're so worried about trying to figure out every encounter, trying to figure things out, and we're problem solving. It's not really time to BS and socialize too much, but
we or you?
Me. I'm talking to me. I'm always talking about me,
For us
Kingsley.
again.
Sorry to include you guys in that.
I always love.
I know. Speaking of which,
we're
yeah, man.
there.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Kingsley, what have you been doing this week, man? Catch us up.
It's fun to have 3 of us on tonight. They're part of the raid crew, and of course, zombies in the chat and stuff. And so, but yeah, I still enjoy raiding in Destiny, of course, and doing things because it's always fun, different experiences with different crews we're running, and had a fun experience Wednesday night, last night recently, running with the crew. We did a Crota, which is one of my lesser favorite raids, but it was up on the rotation for reasons, and had a good experience with it. So got it done really fast. It actually brought my average down because I raid a lot. So obviously I'm raiding with people that are newer to raids and stuff like that. So funny enough, my average time on Crota was even higher than raids like Kingsfall and stuff. I think my average time on Crota was like 2 hours and 14 minutes or 2 hours and 20 minutes. I should have screenshot it before.
Yeah.
But we got the raid done in just over an hour.
Whoa.
And so
Nice.
it brought it down to like 2 hours flat by average. So
Nice.
yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Not that I care about that stuff, but we were just talking about.
Oh, you care about it. You know you do. You like those stats.
No. The only thing that I kind of care about is like how many total runs I have, because it's interesting, and it's not to like flex or
no,
anything
it's a
like
pride.
That, but it's just
a pride thing.
No, it's not even pride for me. It's just it's kind of I just like to know like which raids I've done more than others, and I just kind of like to know like maybe like I'm helping people, because it's more like the Sherpa runs and things like that. So,
Cool.
Yep. And then, but I'm so glad that, well, I'll talk about some more video games first, then I'll get to other entertainment. I mean, just the same old, I mean, continuing Warframe some more, but more importantly, I mean, I posted some videos also that a lot of us are so excited. The big new DLC for Diablo is coming out on Monday, Lord of Hatred. And they're adding so many good things to the game. And the reviews are already out. I don't know if just Blizzard is confident that it's a good DLC, but it is, because
Blizzard.
Everyone who has it, even the small streamers to the big IGNs, everyone's giving it praise so far for the DLC. And the thing about Diablo is the campaign is always excellent, even if you don't do the end game stuff or the seasonal stuff. So really looking forward to this.
And just to clarify, sorry to interrupt, just to clarify, if I were to jump into Diablo 4, I could play the basic campaign and then jump right into the latest seasonal campaign right afterwards, or because the regular campaign is the regular campaign is always there, right? It's always there for me for new players.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to clarify that.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Then I can jump into the season.
Yeah, they haven't removed anything from the game. The campaign, think of the campaign as something different. It's just something to do, and some people even redo the campaign each season, even if they're doing the seasonal track.
Okay. I was just asking for a friend who might want to jump into it later on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I picked up the DLC, so when that comes out, I'll be ready to go.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'm so excited. Diablo 2, Panda, I've been talking about recently too. I stepped away for a while after, and just their seasonal model, if you have time, has really been one of the best seasonal models of any game I've ever played. I mean, even I like Division seasonal model better than Destiny right now, but like Diablo, just the way they do it, the seasonal model is really peak on that. But anyways, so glad Danger's here, because I did start watching Black Mirror. And yeah, of course I like it. It's amazing.
Just now?
I knew I would.
Okay.
What do you mean just now?
Black Mirror, man. There's been like 4 seasons.
I can name 10 shows that you haven't watched yet.
All right. Well, I won't go down that. I want to. What a show!
I knew it was a show that I'd be interested in, but it was coming up when I was on their show that I was just finishing Arrested Development. So for whatever reason, I had Black Mirror. I keep wanting to say Black Flag now, because that's
it's on your mind. It's on your mind.
Yeah. But Black Mirror, for whatever reason, I was bumping up to the top of the list now. And it's exactly kind of what I was looking for. Now, sometimes, even though, yes, it is gritty, sci-fi, all the stuff I like, I still can't sometimes get distracted by sometimes the campy British humor that's there. I'm just being selfish. I kind of wish it was an American show versus a British show, but I love it still. I love it. You know,
the later seasons do get a little bit more Americanized. I love British humor. I love British TV. So like for me, it doesn't affect me.
I'm not
as
so much into like all the Doctor Who's and stuff. It gets a little goofy for me, but
that's my jam. But the is it season 5 or might be 4? Season 4 starts to get a little bit more Americanized. So I think there's going to be a little bit more. There's a couple more episodes I think you'll enjoy a lot more than you would in some of the early stuff.
But look, no, that's a 1% issue for me. The show is excellent, and there's only I've gotten through. You know, it's kind of funny. I don't know why. I'm sure you guys know more than watch it, but I guess season 1 had 3 episodes. At least Netflix is saying that, and then season 2, I already got into I watched 5 episodes total so far, and there's only been one that I haven't absolutely loved, and it's the one. I don't know if you remember. This one was just kind of silly and annoying to me, but the politician who's the Blue Bear animated character.
Yes.
I didn't like that one for some reason, but
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
All
the
right.
other political one where the prime minister has to debase himself by doing something with an animal. I liked that one for some reason, but anyways, excellent show, excellent show. A lot of craziness to it. I showed my wife the episode, the one, probably my favorite one of the 5 I've seen so far is the one with John Hamm. They're supposedly, and I won't give away the spoiler, but they're in like a winter area, but like they're using like technology to get in each other's brains, and John Hamm's like kind of trying to get a confession out of the one guy.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like my favorite so far. But yeah, great show, great show. So I'm going to keep up on that and probably have little mini reviews from time to time before I move on to another show.
Nice.
Other than that, that's pretty much it for me this week.
Okay. I don't have a whole lot to add here. I did go to the theater and see a new documentary called Lorne, which takes a rare look at the creator and producer of Saturday Night Live. By the way, if you haven't seen the movie, it's the movie that tells the whole story of SNL, the history of SNL. That is a must see. It was probably one of my best movies I saw last year. I think it was called Saturday Night. Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night, I think is the name of the movie.
Saturday Night.
Fantastic movie, man. And the characters who replay a lot of the characters that we knew all these years. I'm not like an old school dude. I didn't watch it in 75. I wasn't old enough, but I did watch it in the early 80s and to what it is today. So I'm a big fan of Saturday Night Live, even though it's not always funny. It's just an experience. You just have to, just the way they put these shows together and they go live. They actually do a trial run at 8:45. I never knew that. And then they go live at 11:30. And it's crazy. Anyway, it actually follows around Lorne Michaels, which he has had some rare interviews that he really doesn't talk about himself a whole lot. And this movie didn't really bring out a lot of his private life, but there were pieces and parts of his private life, like he lives in Maine. That's his private time, and he's very much a nature guy. He loves to play hockey. He's from Canada, and he loves the natural world. And for all the craziness that is Saturday Night Live in New York City, his retreat is a lake, a property that he owns on a lake in Maine. And I've been up there in the summer. It is fantastic weather. It's a fantastic place. I've hiked the Honeycomb trail. I mean, it's just amazing place. I'd love to live there. We even thought about having a summer home up there, but it's just expensive having 2 houses, man. It's just crazy. Hard enough owning one these days. But, we get a little peek at his life. I really enjoyed it. I give it 4 stars. It was very good. Rotten Tomatoes has it at 68%. So I recommend checking it out. It'll probably be coming to Peacock because it's all about NBC. So if you have Peacock, don't be surprised if it's out probably in the next couple months. Like I said, if you're a fan, it's a must see. And now I've already talked about all of my man love with Arc Raiders, so I won't go into that anymore. Again, a shout out to our raid group. We did try to get the final Salvation's Edge raid encounter done this last Saturday, and we got so close. We got down 2 and Enrage, but we just aren't quite there. We just got just a few more reps, and I think we're there. And like I said, hopefully I'll get that exotic to drop for me too. We'll just see. But we are taking this Saturday off, by the way. Maybe I'll stream some Arc Raiders or something instead, but we are going to take a break raiding this Saturday like we normally do. We'll be back the following Saturday to do it all over again. So, hey, let's get in some questions for the show tonight. I think we got a few that have been added. We'll jump in and check out that really quick here. You know what? Let's take a small break here and I'll pull them up. Be right back. All right, let me grab these real quick. I see all your comments in Discord, guys. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate all the comments in the Discord. Let me see here. Let's pull up some questions. Okay. Okay. A lot of non-Destiny questions. Let's get some of these tonight done. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final part of our show where we like to hear from our community and we answer questions that you guys send in through our Discord community. That's discord.gg/Guardian Down Roundtable if you want to join us. First one is from Deadpool 1 Merc, and he says, what matters more in today's gaming scene? Is it hype at launch or long-term support after release? I mean, for me, it's not about the hype. I mean, it's all about is the game, if I'm going to be playing in like Arc Raiders, if I need to know that Arc Raiders is going to be around for me to invest my time in it. If I know there's some kind of end game coming or a big baddie or something down the road that they're going to bring in. So for me, it's about long-term support. What about you guys? Hype, long-term support? What do you guys look for? Depends.
It really depends.
That's true.
And what are we basing this off of? How much money the studio makes or how people like the game? But I guarantee you there's been single player games that have made more money, even just initial drops, than long term. But yeah, I agree. For my own personal, if it is a game that's live service, it's going to be, this is the issue with Destiny. Sure, Final Shape is amazing and stuff, but we need the more long term stuff to keep it going than just a good DLC here and there.
Yeah. Especially if it's live service, definitely. Danger, what do you think, man?
I think it depends on what the game is. Like, I would say when it comes to games like Naughty Dog is putting out that game Intergalactic on the PlayStation. Like some of these single player PlayStation releases, I think that's the initial hype is kind of what draws you in, because especially a studio that has a track record like they do.
Right.
But overall, for me, I think it's going to be the long term for a game, because I guess I've been playing a lot of early release games, and as long as I know that and they're pretty cheap up front, but as long as I know that they have something going on long term, I feel good about my purchase.
Okay. Yeah, and External Barge on Twitch says, don't base it on what others think. Base it on your own experience. Yeah, I agree, man. Ronan, what do you think, man? Hype or long term?
Yeah.
I think hype is going to make more of a difference in terms of how well a game sells and how much money it's going to make, etc. Long-term support is going to be more for your, a game that's designed to last longer. So like a live service game. And I think that there's maybe a little bit less sentiment towards long-term games right now that follow the live service model as compared to maybe a big title launching that's hopefully a new IP. A lot of people are excited for just brand new IP that's not
right. A remake.
This year's edition of something that's come before, or that kind of thing.
Yeah. And
I think there's a little bit of a shift happening.
My God, games are so scrutinized today. Everyone's looking at the numbers as soon as it comes out. I'm like, man, what happened to just playing a game and buying a game and playing a game and being done with it, moving on? We all are so focused on these numbers these days. I fall victim to it too. I've been doing it as well. He has a second part here. He says, which current trending game do you think will fall off the fastest? Okay, that's a little deeper question. Which current trending game do you think will fall off the fastest?
What's trending right now? Because we can't say Arc Raider or Marathon.
All right.
What
about the new game Danger and Ronin are playing? The one with the cybernetic girl that rides on your back. I can't remember the name of it.
Single player game will always drop off.
Yeah, I think you gotta look at this.
I think we have to look for a live service game.
Yeah.
Well, you know what my answer is going to be. I've already mentioned
look at
it.
Steam charts and see.
My answer is going to be Marathon. I really think Sony's taking a really close look at Bungie right now, and I think they're getting nervous. I really do. They're starting to make some.
But it's not trending, so.
Is it? I mean, I don't know. What does trending really mean?
I think
it's going up or doing good right now.
Okay.
I don't think it's the game itself. I think you got to look at it as like extraction shooters in general are probably what's going to fall off. I mean,
we kind of agree on that. Yeah, we've had that discussion before. Yeah,
but isn't there just a natural lifetime of a game where it's just going to start dropping off, whether it's whatever type of game? I mean, yeah.
But you look at Warframe, it's settled. I think the point he's making is it's trending right now, but it may drop off a lot.
I got you.
Yeah, that's how I read it. Anyways,
okay. Yeah, so, you're probably right. I really misread that. Okay.
Ronan, he said yes in the chat.
What do you think, Ronan?
Yeah, I think it's going to be genre based as well. You're going to see ebbs and flows of people being drawn to extraction shooters, or Expedition 33 got a lot of hype and over the last year, and so people were spending a lot of time with RPGs in that regard, and so I don't think it's going to be like a specific game necessarily, so much as people are just going to shift to whatever the underlying style or genre is, and that's going to be what's popular.
Yeah. Everybody's jumping on the extraction shooter game mode right now. That's for sure. Dadbot Hero has a question.
Not just that.
Well, I know.
I'm looking at the charts like Slay the Spires trending right now.
Slay the Spire 2. Yeah.
Marvel
Very little
Rivals.
game.
So good.
Small little game.
That game is so good.
My son's playing it all
I mean,
the time.
Windrose is also trending right now, according to Steam charts.
I actually bought Slay the Spire, the original game. I thought it was fun. It's just, there's just so many games competing for my time right now. So, but the original Slay the Spire, I thought was fun.
I don't really have any opinion on any of those. If I think they're going to crash, who knows? I don't know if you guys do, but
yeah.
I mean, Slay the Spire 2 has been a lot of fun. It's very good multiplayer as well.
Okay. I didn't even know it had multiplayer.
Cool.
Okay.
The second one does. The first one does not.
I see. Maybe that's why I didn't know. Okay. Dadbot Hero has a question here. He says, if you could drop yourself into any movie universe as the main character with full awareness you are in a movie, what would your story look like? What would your story look like? Good. You got one?
I would want to be thrown into the Simon Pegg, Edgar Wright movie universe. So like the Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End, that type of thing. Yeah, I don't know what my movie would be like. It'd probably just be some quirky British day in the life type of thing.
I'd want to be dropped into a Guy Ritchie movie. He's making some. He's making some great movies. And what was it? The Distinguished Gentleman movie he made a couple of years back. I'd love to be the main character in that group of characters, those misfits who went on this impossible mission to destroy this this sub, I think it was, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen or something, I think it was called, or
the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yes. That's what I would drop in. I'd want to be in that
Love
group.
That movie.
I want to be in that group. And Guy Ritchie just makes good stuff. He's got another new movie coming out, by the way. It's not coming to mind. I just saw the preview for it last night, but I'll mention it when we get closer to it being released. I think it's coming out in May. So it'll probably be on my list. I think my wife and I looked at each other and said, oh yeah, it's a Guy Ritchie movie. We're definitely seeing that. What about you, Ronin? What would you be dropped into? What movie?
Pacific Rim, and I wouldn't change a thing.
I love it. Transformer guy. I love it, man. I love it. Oh man. Who would you play? Would you play the main Transformer? Or?
I think that's what the question said was
main character.
Be the main character.
Gotcha.
Raleigh, I think his name was.
Okay. Did you answer the question, Kingsley?
No. And at first I was like,
I know you love these questions. That's why I left you for last.
But I'm going to be funny.
All right.
Drop me into Wedding Crashers.
Oh, that'd be a great movie. I'd love to be that.
I'll be Vince Vaughn.
Heck yeah,
Just because
man.
it's not really my personality, but in a crazy way,
That would be fun.
I almost wish I was crazier like that. So
he follows up and said, would you follow the script or try to rewrite it? No, nothing. I wouldn't change anything. I'd be like what Ronin said. I wouldn't change a thing in the Guy Ritchie movies. You know, I still have a Transformer game on PS3, External Bard says. That's crazy, man. Okay. Next question from Miklo. What's your favorite cut of beef to grill, smoke, and what kind of cook do you prefer, from rare, medium well, or well done? Oof. Oh, that could cause a fight. Well, I think we got a bunch of grill masters here tonight, don't we? What do you guys think? I have to start with Danger. I mean, he's the cook.
My favorite is smoked.
Okay.
But smoked is going to be well done. And then I prefer just like a brisket. On that is generally my favorite type of smoked. And then if it's like a steak, just give me it doesn't have to be like a Ruth's Chris, but like that type of style, but like a medium I'm good with. It could be medium rare too, but generally I'm like right around there.
What do you think, Danger? Favorite cut of beef to grill or smoke? And what kind of cook?
Man. All right, so I'm going to say it's going to be probably a New York strip.
Damn it, you took my answer.
The way I cook it is in a pan with butter, sprigs of rosemary, and garlic. So you sear it off, and a little salt and pepper. Sear it off on one side, flip it, baste it with the butter, with the garlic and the rosemary in there, and then after that's been seared, put it in the oven, let it cook down to a nice medium rare. Take it out, let it rest, and then you just slice it up. A little bit of finishing salt on top. Well,
that's what a cook would say. Yeah, I New York strip is my cut. I love New York strip. I only buy it when it's on sale because beef is crazy expensive right now. I just like a nice medium rare cook. I try to cook it pretty evenly. I try to get a nice char on it on the grill. And yes, I use gas. I don't use briquettes and all that. But yeah, I get a nice, what I do on mine is I get a nice medium rare and then I let it cook on the plate. Cause the beef will keep cooking once you take it off the grill. I'll let it set on the plate, maybe put some foil over it and I'll let it cook to a medium. But, I would probably marinate it a little bit too. Not that it needs it, but just to add a little bit more. The rosemary and, what'd you say? Rosemary and butter, Danger? What else would you put on it?
Garlic.
So you could do what?
Yeah.
You could do whatever.
I got to try that method.
Yeah.
I'm not a really good cook.
I'll help you out. Just let me know. I'll give you some pointers.
Okay.
But yeah, you can do any combinations. You can do some thyme and shallot. It's just making sure you just get it all into the pan, baste it, throw it in the oven, and put that stuff on top of the steaks before you put it in the oven. And then when it cooks, all that juice just goes right on top of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Ronin. What cut of beef? How you cooking it?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to go with smoked sirloin.
Sirloin's a good steak, man. It's a good, solid steak, and it's not too expensive to buy it. You can get some really good deals on sirloin. That's what I mainly eat because I can't afford New York strip all the time. But yeah, you can't go wrong with that, man. I mean, you can get sirloin to just be so tender. It just depends on the cut you get, Yeah. Nice, good answer. Good answer.
Yeah, your brisket tends to be real popular for smoking around here.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are a lot of restaurants that smoke sirloins on the menu, and I haven't seen it outside Texas. I'm sure it's out there, but yeah, just in the last several years, I've gotten to experience it, and yeah, that's probably my favorite way to have beef cooked.
I like it. Okay. Rodimus has a question here for Danger. I didn't want to end on this one, so I'll start. We have two left. How does it feel to be regulated to a less comfortable sitting arrangement?
All right. So, I don't know if anybody's in chat can see behind me the Philadelphia Flyers jersey going on. I'm from South Jersey. I love my Philadelphia sports teams. I'm very happy right now that my Flyers are in the playoffs. This is a long time coming for me. So we just recently bought a recliner. It's a nice leather recliner. It's very comfy. I was sitting in it during the game the other night, and I kept sitting up really fast and then sitting down, sitting up real fast, sitting down. So my wife banned me from the chair while I'm watching games. So I am regulated to the rocking chair that's currently in the living room. So that's my
an old wood one.
Saturday night. Yeah, it's got some fabric on it,
okay,
but it's a little padding. Yeah,
oh my god, dude.
It's gonna be my for the rest of the series.
You gotta take a picture. You watching a game in that rocker.
All right,
that'd be awesome.
Saturday night I'll have it set up.
Nice, man. I like it. All right, thanks, Rodimus. All right, we're gonna end on this one. This is from Scarlet Maddie. Here we go. Okay, thought experiment and question. If Marathon released and it came out with a campaign mode completely separate from its PvP experience, similar to a setup like Call of Duty or Titanfall, like we mentioned earlier, would you guys play it? Imagine a polished experience, 7 missions. You could change the difficulty. Maybe you could play with a team of 3. It gives you massive outlook on the game world and story heavily influenced. Personally, I think something like this would be awesome. Although if they decided to try something like it, it would take a long time and sadly probably only have the developer experience to support PvP because that's the game they made. It's fun to imagine though. What do you guys think if they created a PvE mode in Marathon? with, like he said, 7 missions here. You can change the difficulty of it. Would you guys play it?
No.
I'd play it because
But
I love,
like Danger said,
yeah.
I don't think it would make that much of a difference.
Yeah.
It might. I'm not saying it wouldn't make any, and they might get a couple more initial sales if that's what they're wondering about. But that'll get some people interested for several hours, and then they'll drop off so it's more going to be about the continual and the end game. If you like Marathon as a base game, Same thing with Destiny. Yeah, they make a good campaign, but you got to have more than just the campaign. You got to like the base game. You got to like the repeatable stuff.
But what if it's like what Ronin is talking about, like small, $40 game. Yes, it's only 7 missions, and maybe I don't know, 10 hours of gameplay or something. Would it be worth the $40? I mean, he's playing some smaller games right now, but staving off the Destiny playing. I mean, what if it was just a small game like that where you can just learn? I don't know. I think I'd play it. I mean, because I love the art style. I love the features. I love the dystopian thing right now, man. It's my thing. I'm a Matrix fan, so you can imagine this kind of stuff just flows right into my eye line. That is stuff I like to see and play. But what about you? You don't think so, Danger? You don't think so?
I don't know. I mean, I get what he's saying. I and as somebody that loves Titanfall 2, like, I think the problem is the game started out PvP. So to throw in a campaign at this point to tie in all the lore they're throwing in the PvP mode, I could see it getting too confusing for a lot of new players and possibly just like losing them right off the get-go.
All right.
Like, there's nothing.
Shit.
I mean, what
Hold on a sec, guys. Hold on, Danger.
We lose Todd.
Sorry, I hit a button.
We lost Todd.
I hit a button and I exited by accident. I'm sorry. Finish that thought, man. I'm sorry. You cut out. No.
Since he's not
Just
here,
go back to your
taking over
first
the
sentence.
show, folks.
Yeah.
We're taking over the show.
Finish that sentence. Sorry, man. Sorry.
It probably won't necessarily be on the recording, but people in the Discord can hear us.
Yeah, we can talk about all the devious things.
Yeah, I mean, so it makes sense for Todd because he already likes Marathon enough that adding a campaign would be good. And to be fair, like, I like Destiny enough. If any new little amount of content they add, I'll soak it up. But if you're not already into the game, I don't know that really gets that many additional people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it's fine. It's a fine game. Like, I play it at this point. I play it with friends.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm going in with a group people I know, I'll have fun with it. But for me, like, even if they had a campaign, there's nothing there that says like, oh, this is the game to play. Because to me, it's another Destiny. What could they do that's going to be any different?
But for people that like the game, I could see wanting it. Just more stuff to soak up,
Let's bring Ronin into this. What do you think, Ronin? Would you play a game like that?
It's got a pretty tall hill to climb for me because, like games that I've played in the past that are, a campaign tacked onto what they expect to be a popular PvP game. It feels like the campaign is just almost like a tutorial or, tacked on just for the sake of having something. But also, I'm kind of dystopia'd out.
Okay.
At this point,
right.
a lot of gaming and entertainment has been themed around, just surviving in a dystopia, and I'm just kind of, I don't know, the genre is wearing out for.
I can see it. Oh, you cut out for a second there. You with us, Ronin? Ronin, you there? Can you hear us? Ronin was cutting out. Can you guys hear Ronin? Or is it me? Oh, brother. Come on, Discord. Let's do this.
Pragmata.
Yeah. No, I'm sure I would, like I said, but Let's see if he's coming back now.
I don't know what's going on with Discord. I got kicked out again.
It's not Discord. It's just your side. I was trying to tell you were cutting out for a bit before that.
Okay, I got you.
And so it might be your internet. Who knows? But
I don't know what's going on. Okay.
We all heard each other fine. It was only you that was having issues.
Don't worry, I'll let it in post.
Was it recording the whole time?
Yeah, it's recording. It's recording. But my
kind of kept the show going.
I was trying to
not really
run and cut out at the end of his sentence, and then everybody went blank. Everyone went quiet. So I was like, okay,
then it wasn't recording what we were saying.
It's got to be me.
I was asking. Okay.
Go ahead. Repeat it. Repeat what you ask him.
I don't remember everything that I said.
Sorry.
That's what I was asking.
It's the thing you love about live shows, man. Okay.
We were just mostly BSing and talking a little bit about Pragmata and other things. So.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, that's all our questions we have this week. Thanks, guys, for being candid with your answers. I got to admit, guys, isn't life good? Life is good right now. We got so many different kinds of games to play out there. I feel very blessed. I really do. I mean, the fact that we can talk about so many games like this, I don't know. It is, Scarlett. Life is peak right now, man. It really is. It's a good time to be a gamer. There's a lot of games out there. Maybe we don't have all the time to play them, but that's a nice problem to have, man. Because when you get tired of a game, look at all the choices that you have to play a game. So, I just wrote myself a note to say that because I got to thinking about that when we were talking about all these, when we're in a catch-up segment, playing all these games and stuff. But that's our show, guys. That is it for tonight. I appreciate everyone that came out and in our Twitch chat and our YouTube chat and also our Discord chat. A really good turnout tonight. I appreciate you guys being here. How about giving a shout out to Mr. DangerPowers? Talk about your podcast and where people can reach you, man.
Yeah. So you can mostly find me over in the Space Mafia Discord that I co-run with Rodimus and Panda and Bell and a couple of the other guys. We have 2 podcasts that we do. First is Dudes Playing Stuff. It's started out as a gaming podcast. Now we just we talk about gaming of all aspects from tabletop to games like Magic the Gathering to life to movies, food, like whatever, friendship, magic, whatever we feel like. And then the second one is Dungeons, Death Saves, and Dice, which we have opened up our Discord to, if you're interested in playing Dungeons and Dragons or any other type of tabletop game. It is a podcast that is strictly like we invite people to come out, get your party, have a DM, you run like a 5 or 6 session arc, and then after that we go on to a new party. So the idea is that everybody has a seat at the table and everybody can play and have some fun. We've done Dungeons and Dragons. I did a run of Candela Obscura. Rodimus is currently working on a thing of Shadowrun. Call of Cthulhu has come up a couple of times. So there's a whole lot of different games we're trying to throw out there.
Okay.
So if anybody's interested, they want to come hang out in the Discord, they want to come play D&D or whatever, come hang out and just reach out to me or anybody and we'll hook you up.
Hell yeah, man. And don't forget those top 10 lists that Rodimus comes up with every week. I'm sure you guys get frustrated with some of those.
Oh, we got so mad on Tuesday. Like there was I'll leave it at that. It got so heated to the point that we had to ask Doc Heyoka the next day about one of them. So we'll see.
Nice, man. You guys have a good time over there, man. I'm really happy to see you guys have done so well over 100 episodes now, man. That's awesome. That's kind of the acid test, man. Most podcasters. I mean, I think Dad's Tales, which is where we came from, they did 150 episodes and says we're done. And here we are, 353 now. I couldn't even imagine we'd ever be here, but anyway. Mr. RoninRedLion, you want to give a shout out to anybody? Whatever you want to say, man, before we hit him.
Got to give a shout out to Mr. Elmer Fudd, who is running a Helldivers 2 tournament this Saturday that I will be participating in.
Get the bugs, man.
Check that out.
Kill the bugs. Do your part. I love it, man. I mean, if Arc Raiders did something like that, it'd be pretty awesome. Anyway. Kingsley Mac, want to give a shout out to anybody, man?
Just the guests this week.
Yeah, definitely.
I give a shout out to first DangerPowers. It was fun being on the DPS podcast recently, and of course everyone else over there. And then of course a shout out to Ronin, always a calm, logical voice while we're rating.
And I'm going to give a shout out to External Barge. He had some really good input this week on the Twitch chat over there. So I'm going to give him a shout out, man. Yes, a T-bone steak with a little salt and pepper, medium rare, with a glass of wine and a cigar. Now you got me, man. That's not a bad night right there. Just put a nice show on and you're good to go. Thanks everyone for showing up tonight. Thanks for hanging out with us. And remember, whether in life or in your game, get your reps in. Later, Guardians.
Have a good one.